Hello, 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 everybody. Sorry about that. My phone went dead. Anybody that was there a while ago, so I come down here. I'm going on my computer. Hang on just a second, y'all. Um, Hang on just 1 second. Okay, guys. Sorry about that. I'm back. For those of you just joining us, I was live on my regular phone up on the hill, and my phone went dead. Tex! Hello, Tex! Let's see who we got in here, guys. Sorry. Sue and Brown Bear and Tex and Angel and Annabelle and Sweet and Sassy and Brown Bear and Robin and Country Girl and Kayla and Always Late and Maya Bella, Lynn Big Time, Sweet D, Lynetta, WR, Always Late, Lolly, Miss Chewy, Cool Gamer, Angela. Welcome, welcome everybody. Lady 7 Up. Listening at work. I'm on early. I know I am. Let me put my link out here. I bet Crooked Arrow is even asleep right now. She needs to wake up. Bobby G. Oh, okay. I'm back. So we was talking about David Dotson when my phone went dead, guys. I'm sorry about that. I was up on the hill and I was on my cell phone. I wished I could make it where I could get charge it and keep the live going while I'm out on the field, but I can't. I love being outside with you, Daisy. I hope you do that more often. I sure love to see your animals. I love all your critters. I wish my computer had two ways on it. Hey, Sal Lady. Hello, hello. Um, but it don't have two ways, or I would go outside with my computer because my computer holds more charge than my phone. I got an older phone and it doesn't stay charged, especially when you're doing a live stream. I don't know what it is about it, but it makes it just drain your phone. Hey, Jackie 11. Miss Stacy, I don't think Mr. Dotson has anything to do with the disappearance. I'm not saying he does. Hey, Tree. I'm just saying it. I think it's a little suspicious. Hey, Nora Woods, that he was the first one up there, y'all. I'm not saying he did. I'm just saying I need me a solar battery pack. Thank you, Kayla. You know, I have a brand new GoPro that I ain't even used because I ain't able to use it. I wish I could get out there and film more, but I can't. I wished I was more physically capable of doing it. Wished I lived closer so I could sit on your porch with you and take those beautiful views in. Thank you. I wished you did too. Hang on, there's something here. Somebody just sent me something. Sorry about that, guys. Um. Okay. Jinkies just sent me something. Sorry about that, guys. Hey, Sue Lawson and Ma Bell. You are really early, Daisy, today. You need a portable charger that will charge with sun too. They are great. I know because up on the hill I don't get good like I don't have no electricity. Hey Lisa, Laura P and Donna live in time for lunch. Yeah. I just was wondering. I just thought it was kind of weird though that David Dotson was the first one up there on that hill. I'm not saying that he's guilty or anything like that because I'm done accusing people of stuff. But I just thought it was kind of weird. But we do have to admit that somebody come up there and took that baby. And she's still missing, y'all. And I don't want to give up on her. And Christine don't want to give up on her. And Candace don't want to give up on her. And Don don't want to. Miss Day, it's was said he married a really young lady. I just don't understand why he left so quickly. Candace called David and Robin to come up there. Candace said she never called David because I asked her the other day, did she call David? And I told her about the way Summer was looking at that guy, or the way he was looking at him in that picture. Didn't Candace call him first? Because she couldn't get a hold of the church lady. Candace said that she thought Robin called him. Don Sherfy. Well, we're also looking at Dudley as well. Even though he had a lot of alibis, I think he had like 5 alibis. I thought he showed up with Robin. No, he was the first one there. Then Robin came. Nobody is giving up on Summer. No, we don't want to. Really, that's interesting. Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. Like, why did this guy insert himself into the case? You know what I'm saying? Hello, Miss Lolly.
Hey, how are y'all?
I'm good. How are you? How is Sayla doing? Do you know?
I haven't talked to her, but I'm just leaving her be for
Me
now.
too. Me too.
Yeah, she
Well,
has, I'm sure, family with her. She's going through a time that she knows I'm here and she will reach out to me when she's ready.
yeah, she just needs this time with her and her family.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm so
So,
brokenhearted for her. It's
um,
bothered me so bad. Isn't it
yeah,
weird that we were talking about all
I
that stuff?
know. I know, but I just pray that maybe something, me talking and sharing my story or whatever will help her to know that I get it. I get what she's going through,
Yeah.
and I'm here.
And you know what she needs right now, which is
Yeah,
probably space.
yeah. There's no words, and that's what I first message I sent her there are no words for me to say right now
Right.
because any words that people keep telling you at that time, it doesn't help. Nothing helps. So I just told her, just keep breathing. Just breathe.
I know. So sad. I feel so bad for her. But you
Gosh,
know, there'll be a time when the family's gone away and she's by herself. That's
yes.
when they need you the most, right?
Oh, yes. Yes, yes. Yep.
Yeah.
First time
Well,
that house goes quiet. Yeah.
yeah. God bless her. We're
So,
up, we're up here talking about I'm thinking this is just in the back of my head. Why did David D insert himself into this case? I'm not saying he's guilty or nothing, but
right.
he's the first one up there. You know what I mean?
He is a weird character in this
Right.
for
And
sure. And I think to me his weirdest thing, the weirdest part of it all is
hey,
he
Matthew.
inserts himself.
Uh huh.
Couple weeks later, he leaves the
Exactly.
church. He moves out of town and he
Mm-hmm.
goes back to where he came from, church wise. And
Right.
that's a big jump.
That's a huge jump.
Yes. So for
And
him to leave a Baptist church and go to, this church and then in the middle of this case and then just walks away and yeah, I don't know. To me it's just
well, if Robin didn't call him and Candace didn't call him, then
right.
what the heck was he doing up there on that hill, first one on the scene?
Yeah.
I
I don't
told
know.
I told Candace to go watch that movie, The Lovely Bones.
You've said that. Yes, I've
He
seen that
didn't
movie.
believe her like that guy in the movie. I don't know. I hate to accuse anybody because I know other people that knows him in person and they say he's a really nice guy, but just something about him just didn't sit right from the beginning with
Right.
me.
I agree. I mean, that's how I felt about him too.
There
It
was a
was
certain
just
that was
strange because he wasn't close to the family.
right, like
N-
he had
it-
just started that church and stuff.
right. If he
But
was close to the family, I get going there, to be there for the family to see what you could do to help. But for him to not be that close to the family,
and then to
that
be
made
the
it a little suspicious to me.
right. Why did Dotson stop being a mortician? Because usually that's a lifelong career. That's what I was wondering too. I read the book, never saw the movie. The movie's really good, Annabelle. it's really creepy the way, just that creeper vibe. And I could be very wrong. This man might not have had anything to do with it, but I just wonder why he inserted himself so fast in this case and was up on the hill. Why did the law enforcement let him go up there? Most of
Yeah.
them would never let anybody go up on that hill. Tin Buddy was a nice guy too. Most women loved him. I seen that movie. That was a creeper movie, man. He was an animal, wasn't he?
Hmm.
He definitely made himself too available. I know, and then he just kind of disappeared.
Yeah, that was a strange part for me.
He didn't show up there. That's crazy. He was called to come there. Mountain Mama, not. I asked Candace myself, and she said she didn't call him. That Robin called him. So I don't know. The norm, and she said he'd never been up there before. Normal, everyday topic. Good people that look normal to others are killers too. Usually, it's the ones we don't expect, ain't it?
Right. The sad part is with this case, with Summer's whole case, there's so much of he said, she said, nobody knows for sure the right way it played out.
Yeah,
That's what makes it all so hard.
right. It's just weird that
Yeah,
how fast she went missing, and she's just there's no trace of
right,
her at all. She's just
right. And
gone.
the whole story from the beginning, I think got orchestrated, and in just my opinion only, but I do feel like Jody Sue inserted herself into that part of it, the
Yeah.
timeline,
Yes.
and it kind of spiraled from there. Everybody has a version of
Right.
what happened, and none
Right.
of it connects. None of it makes sense.
Right. I know TBI is questioning a bunch of them binge watcher, but I think they need to go back and look at their interviews. I think there needs to be a fresh look on this case.
I think there needs to be fresh eyes too.
Robin and David talking, and then they let the boys go with David. Robin was so. Candace told me she never called him. I asked her directly. I know what I asked her. She said Robin called him. He wasn't the first, Miss Daisy. Listen to Dee Dee and Robin's interview. They both said when Candace couldn't get a hold of Robin, she called Dee Dee and he called Robin. All I know is I asked Candace. She said that Robin called him. He was the first one there, and then Robin showed up afterwards. I asked her that the other day. So I don't believe that she had lied to me about it. She told me that Robin had to call him because she never called him. I'm going by what came out of Robin's and David's mouth.
I've
I,
heard both versions.
I still have questions about H, especially with the news Andrew threw out there. Very suspicious. What did Andrew throw out there? Always late.
Oh, he was on, I think it was PG's channel. I saw a little bit of it, but
What
he
he said?
was saying that, H was messed up with some bad people. He owed a substantial amount of money to these bad people.
Right now?
And, well, when Summer come up missing,
Whoa.
and he said that he thinks that's why they kept his phone so long. They held on to his phone. It was nothing Summer related that
It
they
was
think,
because of the bad people that he was
but it's the
involved.
bad people. Yes,
It could have been. It could have been. That little boy's got problems pretty bad.
yes, he
Yeah,
does.
honest, I think he just went to help. I think there is many. I don't believe Robin or nobody from the church had anything to do with it, but I do think he might be a little. He's creepy, guys. That's just all I'm gonna say.
Right.
And I so weird that he inserted himself into the interview.
Yeah.
Christine's
Well,
interview.
look at your media manager.
Well,
He's a weird duck
know him
too.
that well. Well, he seems kind of nice to me. I don't know him that well. You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
don't. I've only met him once, and that was at the 1 year anniversary, and so I don't really know who he is. Hey, Hillbilly 29. He is just a liar on liars panels. She's talking about Andrew Hill.
Andrew Hills. Yes.
I don't know. Andrew's nice, but I did have caught him in some fibs, guys. I have.
Yeah.
Wish we'd find somewhere to put her to proper burial. I wonder if they searched outer parts of Kingsport. I mean, Miss Daisy, they inserted him. I don't know, Mama. I really don't know. I'd have to ask Candace about it again because that's what I thought. She told me the other day that she never called him. I am stuck with Sherpy Jr., whose children's photo. I know, ain't that awful? My ranch. That's
You know,
true,
this
man.
this whole case, you could pick one person and make a scenario and a story that would fit the
Exactly.
narrative.
There's so many people
Hmm.
that's involved. But
Yeah.
one thing we can all agree on, and I believe that all of y'all together can agree on, is that Jody Sue was on the lookout for Jackie Dobbs that day, and so she had to
Yes.
know everybody that was going in and out on that hill. There's no
Oh,
way
yeah.
that strange person come up on that hill that Jody Sue didn't know.
She could tell you the sound each tire made that went up that hill and who was driving that car. And she could tell you this, the boys' sounds that she heard every day. And she could tell you everything about that whole little area right there, except for
Hmm.
that day.
And she was right down there at the bottom of the hill when
Yeah.
Candace went on their first time looking for Summer. That was just weird. I mean, just so all of it that what she
Yeah.
said and her daughter said about Summer's body, and I don't know if you've listened to it, but
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
all that crazy stuff, which
Yeah.
I sent to Candace because Candace didn't know anything about that part, and I
Oh,
sent it.
Lord.
Yeah,
Oh,
the other
yeah.
day.
That was pretty rough.
I just
And
want.
I was very suspicious of Jody and Andy when it was brought up. Jody Sue said it out of her own mouth that on the 14th, that night, they went driving down towards their old property to look for Summer and Jackie Dobbs.
I know. So, and that
That's the
next
day
day,
before.
yeah, it was the day before, and Andy stated on one his live that I recorded, or like I did a live about it. He said to me that just it went left. It left me. What was we talking about?
I had just brought up that Jody Sue said that they went driving the day before
Oh
looking
yeah,
for Summer and Jackie Dobbs.
he stated he saw Summer the night before at her house, and she was running
Yes.
around and playing and everything, and she has trail cams up, and it just so happened that day there was no Sims cards in them.
Hmm.
That's weird, you guys. There's
Everything is just,
Why didn't law enforcement go get a warrant to search her property when she refused to let him search her property? Now Andy said that they did, but Candace said they wouldn't let him
yeah.
search the property. Why? There could be more than one reason Ellie kept H's phone. Evidence one. You can clearly see that H's sister's boyfriend involved in gang. Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah.
And hang on just a second. Um, so let's see. And have to do something to get in. Who knows? But something caused H to be distraught. Well, to me, it was almost like Allie and them were coaching H to say everything. And Allie had it in for Candace. And I asked Candace that. I said, why does Allie have it in for you? And she said, I don't know. She said everything changed with Jose. I guess maybe Allie, I don't know.
Well,
But
Allie and Jose were supposed to be like an item when he
yeah,
first got there.
yeah. And then he come upstairs and said that he liked chicks with,
Yeah.
and Allie flew furious on them all and left. And,
Yeah.
and then called the cops and said that Summer or Candace wouldn't let the kids leave. And that was a darn lie. Them kids was old enough they could do what they
I know.
wanted to.
Thought so
I
too.
feel like she's trying to spot Candace in every way because she still has resentment, maybe?
Yeah. I know. I feel like she's very, very untrustworthy.
Yeah. If you go back and watch, and I sent that to Candace because somebody slowed it down, where she was on that interview, Allie, and you could see her head nodding to um H, like
Yeah.
saying the right thing, and then Grand Bun looks over and at Allie, and then Allie just nods her head like, "You're saying the right thing, H. You're saying the right thing."
Yeah. It was very, I don't know.
Yeah, Bob G tricks, chicks with tricks. That's the nice thing to say, Bob G.
That's funny.
Wasn't there long enough for them all to get so attached to Jose. It doesn't make sense. Well, Allie, I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know.
Why did she turn on him so much? Or why was she hell bent on hurting Candace? I'm telling you, Candace ain't the kind of person that holds grudges and stuff. Okay, Marshmallow. Bye, Felicia. I don't really care. We get haters in here all the time. I'm wondering if they ran him off so he couldn't see what went down on the 15th.
I
Are
think
you?
he left because Dawn came
Yeah,
back.
it was. It was.
Yeah.
Don came back. Yeah, it had nothing to do with that.
I don't know. I hate it when I go back and go over everything that I've, heard and seen and, and all this stuff. And it's
Hmm.
so frustrating because
Well, at
there
least they
is
know what.
nothing.
Right. They know what happened to Monkey Vaughn now. I mean, it's just a matter of getting the laundry
Right.
lady to let it all out there, and um, and they know what happened to Harmony Montgomery. It's baby Summer that's still out here missing, and they
Yeah.
have no clue
No clue
whatsoever.
at all. And it's
No.
so sad.
Marshmallow is making his rounds today. I guess. Allie and Candace are arguing over Jose. No, Allie said she never argued over Jose. She never said nothing to Allie. And I could see that too, because Candace don't argue with nobody. She's very, very soft hearted. I know that a lot of people think that she's mean and she argues, but she's very, very soft hearted. A very, very soft hearted person behind the scenes. If you believe that was Jose on that interview, he stated he never said anything like chicks with. Well, I don't know. I don't know about that. I wonder what Andrew is talking about. Hunter is coming out with new info. I think Andrew is trying to build his channel back up.
I
He is
don't trust
really
anything that man says.
he was selling you know that that Andrew was charging, well, allegedly, I don't know if it's true, it's what people told me. He was charging $5 a question for
Yes, I've heard that. I
that's
don't know
something
for sure, but
awful.
I've heard that.
That's horrible.
Yes. And
JSP said,
I don't trust a man that's going to move his whole family, pack them up, move them down here, unload into a storage building, find out their house isn't there ready or whatever, and then load it all up and pack them back up and drive back to New York. That don't make sense.
well, he said the Bristol races were in, and I can see that during that time, but he could have went on down the road a little bit longer.
Exactly.
They might not have had the money to do it. I don't know. Oh, he
I
is a
don't know.
pathetic little Deb. I'm not saying he did it. I'm just saying that he's a little suspicious, David.
Yeah, he's
Kind
quirky.
of like that
Yeah,
Santa Claus on John Bonet. I've thought that that Santa Claus was very creepy on John Bonet's case. Sarah
Yes.
Wandra, Sarah Wandra had court at 1:30 today with some added charges. Updates will be posted later. Thank you, Sweet D.
Oh, that's good to know.
I hope she sings like a bird. I hope they put the pressure on her and
Yes.
she tells them where that baby is. Because the last time Brandy was in here, she was furious because she said that the cadaver dogs picked up a scent in the back of that Brandon's mom's yard. And
Yeah.
that Brandon's mom tried to say that it was her toilet.
Oh, no. They're not going to pick up on sewage.
Right. Right. So that's what she said. Daisy, in that same interview with H, he asked the question about where he went that night, and Allie mouthed an answer either way, home or park. I seen that. That's weird. That is weird. I do say the whole thing with H is really weird. Like Allie was putting him up to saying stuff, and I don't understand that. I mean, could Allie have been mad and went up there and hurt Summer? Could she still would have been holding a big, you know, grudge because of Jose? That they took Jose back home because Grandma Candy took Jose home, and did Allie get mad about it? I mean, why did Grandbun say the summer before Summer died?
Yeah.
There are a few children no none of us have ever heard about. There is an unidentified child found in a trash can in the woods in Virginia. They say the child is between 4 and 7. Don't know the gender yet. When was this found?
Oh,
22. Well, they would have definitely checked Summer because it's so close. If it would have been Summer, they would have. Yeah. Hey, Fancy Clancy. A month right then they say he was like really close with H, and H was sad when Allie and Jose didn't work out, but H was mad at Candace. No, I think Allie was the one mad at Candace. No, I think Allie cared about Summer. I don't know about that. I don't know. Allie, I don't know. If she cared about Summer and she knows something, she don't care about Summer. You know what I'm saying? If she's a hiding something and she's a lying, she don't care about Summer.
Jackie had a good comment here. Don't forget Tony Hammond. His mother lives in Beach Creek. He tried to kidnap a boy out of his garden a few days after Summer disappeared. And I've heard this before.
Wow. I wonder if Candace knows that.
I don't know.
Don't
But that
forget.
has always been kind of in the back of my mind. I've not heard a lot about this Tony Hammond, but I have heard about him.
Hey, Annabelle. I don't know. That's weird though, ain't
Hey,
it? 2 days.
Annabella.
Summer went missing. That's weird. Like Candace said, they had no idea that there were that many people, essayers and stuff around that house and in that.
Oh, there are tons of them.
There's yeah,
I
it's
tell
lo-
you, and I've said this on my channel, and I'll say it again anywhere that whether Summer is with us or not with us, that little girl has made such a difference in her area and
Mhm.
to other people all around the world because she's put out a, a knowledge to people that didn't really realize what was
Mhm.
happening around them.
She has. That's just like what I told Candace. Like because Summer's case is so big and has been so big in the past, that I brought awareness to other children like Harmony Montgomery, Michael Vaughn. Hey,
Right.
Lucky Charms. Hey, Fear Dream Team. But yeah, through Summer, other children has been brought awareness to.
Yes. And,
And
and and people are starting to take notice about who lives close to them.
right, right.
And the whole SO around her area,
So many.
it's been brought to light. Where
I,
before it was all hush hush, everything kept quiet. Everybody didn't say nothing. Everybody was afraid of someone.
right.
But
Well,
this little 5-year-old girl, she brought so much to light.
right. She's just so beautiful and just precious. And
Oh,
I,
Annabella, you're so sweet. I love you, girl.
aw, let's see. Oh my God. And her hair being cut so short, maybe he thought she was a boy. God, I hope not. Um, it doesn't matter nowadays, you guys, boys or
Right.
girls. These monsters will go after anything. If they're a monster enough to steal a child and hurt a child, they'll do anything. And it's because of the increase of perversion in our world nowadays. Just like with Elizabeth Smart, she said whenever that guy would come across a dirty like magazine or something like that, she was abused because of it. Like
Right.
time he would look at stuff like that, he would take it out on her. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to watch my words because YouTube has got very, very, very strict.
Right.
So, like last night, I got that thing. So, Summer made a huge impact into my life. She has a lot of people. You all, let's see. Somebody send me messages. Ah, like say that's Candace. Uh, let's send that to her. Sorry. But yeah. So, um, you never know. Let's see.
Yeah.
Uh, is Donna Candace in chat? I don't know if Candace is going to come in right now. I know she's not home, so I don't know if she'll come in right now or not. But I just told her we were doing a live, so she might show up in here. Hang on just a second, okay?
Okay. Lovely lyrics. The sad part is we don't know who's lying. I mean, Andy was supposedly at work, but then, there's a phone call with his boss, and he never really confirmed Andy was at work. So we don't
Right,
know that for sure.
right.
Was Fred lying or was he not lying? That's the
Well,
worst part about this whole case. You don't know who tells the truth and who doesn't. So it's hard to take one direction or the other.
right. Well, and another thing is too, if you go back and listen to the text that Jody Sue sent Ziggy when Ziggy was there talking to
Uh
Fred,
huh.
Jody Sue did not want Ziggy talking to Fred for some reason.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
Yeah, and
She was
so
mad about that.
yeah, and everybody thought she said Andy said Summer died on Saturday, but if you go back and listen, she meant Fred said Summer died on Saturday. And
See,
Candace told
it
me,
is so hard to believe really anybody for sure.
well, the thing is, Fred had took a car off like a day that day or the day before or
Hmm.
day after Summer went missing, and they didn't even check it.
Yeah, no.
So could a
And I
Summer
think
been in the car in the
now,
trash?
from what he said, he took the car off, but it was before she came up missing, I believe, or whatever. That's his story.
No, it was after because Don and
Oh, it
Candace
was
both
after.
said
Okay.
after. Yeah, like a day after or that day at evening. I'm not for sure. I'll have to read back and ask them.
Yeah,
But
but
why didn't
you
LA
know,
search that? Why didn't they search anybody in that area? That would have been the prime suspects right there, especially if she wasn't found in the first couple of days. I would have been looking at those neighbors,
oh
hot
yeah.
and heavy.
And I would never have said, and I know it's easy for me to sit here on my couch and say, oh, I wouldn't do it that way. But
No,
why are you going to let potential suspects who live so close search their own properties? I know there's a lot of area to cover. I get that. But there are so many people that were willing to go out and look, but
right?
they didn't allow it.
Yeah,
But yet they had just allowed it in the other little girl's case.
I think, in my opinion, Hawkins County failed from the beginning
I think
because
so.
I think, yeah, and and not letting equal search come back in and
Right.
search again.
I think a
And
lot of Hawkins County had to do with let's cover up for our own people because they didn't want a lot of truth to come out.
there you go. A lot of good old boy system, in my opinion.
Yes, ma'am.
And
That's my opinion. And to me, they kind of proved it. You know,
right.
you don't tell people, well, search your own property, but yet
Exactly.
you're the person that lives next door to the little girl who came up missing.
And then you're telling them they can't search it. Like the main
Yeah.
person that supposedly heard the scream
Yeah.
doesn't want her house searched,
Yeah,
her
exactly.
property searched. And Andrew has more. Andrew, not Andrew Hiltz, but Jody Sue's monster, says she calls him.
Yeah.
He has more property than just in that area. He has
Yes, ma'am.
his family owns a lot of property there.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
that would have been a red flag to me if I was law enforcement
Right.
and the neighbor directly across the street from the person with a missing kid says, "Hey, no, you can't search my property." I would have said, "Well, we'll see about that," and I would have called
Yes.
a search warrant because her scent could still pick up on that in that house.
Yeah.
If Summer was
And,
in that house around that property, her
and
scent would have been all in there.
yes. And you know that this is the same lady who decided to take her dogs for a walk while the search dogs were out.
Hmm.
I mean, she never took them for a walk before,
Right. Well,
but yet that day she had to take them out and walk them around. Well, all that does is create chaos and confusion, and that's a distraction.
a lot of it was distraction.
Yes.
All she's been doing is distracting in this case, and still to this day is distract.
Yes.
She does hours and hours and hours of live. We can throw that in the book. Hours and hours of lives just about Summer, just bad
Right.
and on and on. And I don't know. Daisy, Lolly, TBI was involved almost immediately. The TBI doesn't answer to Hawkins County. They were not equipped for the particular search. 14 surrounding agencies were dispatched as well. They were, but why? I'm not saying that they didn't do their job. I'm just saying it could have been differently done. Like get those search warrants. Get those search warrants for those houses. If they don't want to open up their houses and their property when there's a missing child, then get those search warrants out, you know? And
Yes.
because that right there is a red flag. I'm not saying that they haven't worked hard to try to find Summer. I'm just saying I do believe there were some slip ups. You know what I'm saying? Candace
Oh
said,
yeah, definitely. There, there's this
oh,
is the way I see it is that area is, I don't want to say a backwoods area, but it is. It's back and out of the way and it's very quiet and they've been to themselves and they've lived a certain way for generations.
well, when I first started doing Summer Wells's case, I did just videos only. And I
Mhm.
always thought that maybe somebody saw Candace leave and then boys there by themselves. And maybe the boys were the target and not Summer.
Maybe.
Maybe somebody was up there trying to get to those boys, and Candace come home with Summer, and Summer just happened to run out that back door when they were up there. Because
Right.
Christine said there was so many people in that area trying to buy property, the tree trimmers, everything. It could have been a number of people. Why is there video of H following Summer into the water, but no video of them coming out? I think it was just a short clip, Anna D. That was just a little short clip that she did. I don't think that had anything to do with it. Now, if they're now stop and think, okay, so when little Athena got missing, if they wouldn't have found out that UPS man took her or that FedEx girl, who would be we ripping apart right now? All of us on social media.
I'll be
That,
the first one to say, I instantly accused a stepmother in my mind.
Me too. And if they would not have had video footage of it, they would have, she would have still been accused. And she might even have been put in jail.
Yeah,
Nobody, because she was a stepmom, for one.
right.
Number two, her and Athena had an argument.
Yeah.
And all the speculation would have went crazy. It was already starting to go crazy.
Yes. I instantly in my mind, I said to myself, the stepmother did it. That was the first direction I went.
Me
And then I
too.
felt so bad when I realized she had nothing to do with it.
Right. And I watched the behavior panel when Cleo was missing,
Hmm.
and they analyzed her, the mom and the stepfather. They were kind of leaning towards guilt. They didn't come out and say guilt, but they were kind of leaning a little bit towards them being guilty because she had a natural smiling face. Uh,
Right.
and they were just analyzing everything about the stepdad. Come to find out, neither one of them had anything. It was some creepo that went into that tent and took that baby out of that tent and tried to dress her up like a baby doll. That was a miracle they found that baby girl. They were so lucky to find her. Did you hear about that case?
Yes.
Little Cleo.
Yes.
So,
You
all.
know, there's so many scenarios, that could play out.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah,
everybody picks one and they stick with one and they build from that. And that's kind of where we're all wrong.
yeah.
But in this case, as long as it's gone on, everybody kind of goes back to their original thoughts and kind of sticks there because nobody knows. There's nothing, absolutely nothing.
Nothing. There is nothing. That it's like the little baby is just vanished. Miss Daisy, what do you think about the footprints? It could have been from a number, like they may have went riding up in the mountains. Um, Summer might have been running and playing with her brothers in that area. I don't know. I don't even know if the footprints are real. Has LE come out and said that there were footprints? I know Don said there was one. They found some up on by that cabin,
Right.
but I don't know.
I've heard that there are footprints. And Cam and Allie said they saw them.
Yeah. So
So that's all I could say. Now, Annabella had put on here earlier you can't enter a resident without probable cause. The abduction was ruled out. Ground search was priority at that time. As a certified search and rescue citizen, that's what protocol requires.
okay, but when Jody Sue supposedly heard the scream, that changed everything and made it a abduction because that's why they did the Amber Alert, right?
Right.
That was the next day. So why didn't they search the first one that I don't know.
I don't know. I don't understand
I don't either.
rhyme and reason to a lot of it.
I'm not saying Jody Sue did do something. I'm just saying whoever came up there and took Summer that day knew how to get up there on that land, knew where that basement was, knew how now to get Summer to go with them. Um, I think they lured her into a truck, and then when she wouldn't get in the truck with them, she screamed.
Yeah,
JC, Death
I can
Guard,
see that.
Dad saw her get in the truck. No one believed him. Yeah, that's right. They probably accused him, didn't they? I'm not big. I
I
didn't go.
think they did accuse him.
They did.
I think they did.
See,
And they
guys.
kept calling him in and questioning him. And yeah, I think he was like number one suspect.
Yeah, and here it was some creepo holding her in a house for years,
Yeah.
and, and it was the child that she had with that monster that saved her life. The little girl, he left the door unlocked, or
Yep.
he
Something
left her
like
out,
that.
and the little girl went and unlocked the door and let her out and saved her, her own
Yeah.
daughter from that man. So we don't never know. It could be anybody. Human trafficking is horrible in Tennessee. Daisy, I don't know if it were my child, I wouldn't be went to a particular man's house immediately and busted down the door personally.
I'm with you, Annabella.
You mean
Totally
like
with you, sister.
42 or what guy what's she talking about?
The one everybody's afraid of down the road, not
Fred.
on Ben Hill, but down Beach Creek, off of Beach Creek.
Is it Fred?
No,
Hmm.
Frank.
Frank. Well, I heard that Don wanted to go, and they stopped him from going up there. Is what I heard. That Don wanted to go up there. Not from. I didn't hear that from Don. I just heard that from the past, but that they stopped him from going to Fred's house. That's what I heard, but I don't know.
Well, he was the only person that was allowed to search on horseback.
Why was this man allowed to search with a criminal record that he has?
Ah, yeah, I thought too.
What I'm talking about, all that stuff.
And Jody Sue protected Frank Light. Anytime anybody said anything negative, she would, stand up for him. And I think it's very peculiar that that same horse he searched on is now underground.
Right. I mean, it's
And
weird.
if there was a child on cross that horse,
Yeah.
yeah,
I've not really asked Candace about Frank Lake. I've not asked her about him at all. I don't know why, but I do know that there is a little bit of suspicion about Fred
yeah,
because of that car.
right,
Not saying that they're accusing him, but they do know that he took a car to the junkyard like the next day.
yeah.
It's weird. I wonder if they searched the
Well, I
junk.
think he took, from what I've understood, and I may be wrong on this, but I know he was always hauling off old cars and stuff. People would give it to him. He would haul them off. He would go get a little money for, whatever he could get out of it.
Right. I don't know. I think they need to search the junkyards.
Yeah.
At least take their dogs in there and let them sniff around.
And there's also that property where there are a bunch of old junk cars.
Yeah,
And
we can
there
check
is
that.
a blocker that's over it where nothing can fly over it and detect anything.
Right.
And they're not allowed to search there.
That's weird. Why not?
I don't know. It's very weird because that's, just a house. It's at someone's residence.
Right. Right. This
And why are you going to put a blocker over it? It could be just there's drugs in there, or that's where they store their drug. It could be drug related. It could be anything, but it is very suspicious.
it is. Bobby G says when little JJ was missing in Brookville, all volunteer searchers had to be screened. And that's a good thing. I mean, because
Yeah.
you never know. Because there has been cases where the actual perpetrator was out there searching for that person. I mean, if anybody watches the ID channel, you could. I mean,
Yes.
you could say that's where I started out on as the ID channel.
Right. Exactly. My kids told me one time, "Are you planning on killing somebody?" Because every night when you go to go to bed, you're always watching the killer shows.
Me too. It's like an obsession with it. Every one of
Yeah.
us. But we all have a similar bond. We have connections. Like we've all had tragedy in our lives, and we've come together. I think on YouTube because of it, and we just get hurt when these little children end up missing and gone
Yes.
and everything else. Hash Brown said it's been almost 2 years. They need to say more than they have at this point. TBI Hawkins County. Exactly. I just think they need to bring new eyes in and look at the case.
Read Sweet D's comment. I agree with you, though. Someone new needs to come in.
It has been said that the horse grave side was confirmed, but they didn't remove the horse's remains and fully check under the horse grave. So did they pick it up on the? This is Lolly Jinkies. She's up here with me. Did they pick up a scent of a summer in the horse grave? Is that what y'all are saying?
No, it was never confirmed. They confirmed that there is a horse buried there.
Uh huh. But the
But
dogs.
if you think of a small 5-year-old child and a horse on top of it, the child is not going to be detected. That horse is going to overtake that smell.
Right. That's true. But I wonder if the dogs can discern between a dead animal and a human, just human
I
remains.
have no idea for sure on that one.
We'd have to go back and watch EquaSearch
Yeah,
because EquaSearch, there's a lot that those dogs can pick up. Like even in the water, they don't have to like go in the water. They can sense if somebody, I think, it was in the water. You know, I think
right.
there's a lot
Those
of things
dogs
that
are
they can say.
amazing.
They are. They are.
Yeah.
Uh, are you coming up here, John Keys? But Annabelle said yes, they can. But if if they take those cadavers over on Jody Sue or Andy's land, and they pick up Summer scent through the cadaver dogs, that right there would mean a big red flag, right?
I would think so.
Because only the cadaver dogs pick up passed away people, right? Just
Right. I believe so. Like remains,
I
right?
wonder if right. I
And
wonder.
the search other ones pick up their live scent. I think so. Don't
Right.
y'all don't take my word because I don't want to get anybody mixed up.
Well, I know with Monkey's case, he was buried back in that backyard because they got DNA. Now, we haven't heard anything about whether it was positively his DNA, but I do know they sent DNA off.
Yes.
And the cadaver dogs picked him up in the backyard of Brandon's mom's house,
Right.
South Dakota.
And Kim Holmes just said dogs can tell the difference between human from animal.
Okay, thank you, Kim. Thank you. Didn't JS bury a dog at the same time also? I don't know, but Candace did say they shared dogs. That their dogs was over on their property and her dogs was over on her property and they shared dogs. So they did share dogs.
Yo, main girl, I'm so sorry to hear that.
What did she say? My brother was a missing person. He was found in the woods. Did they find him deceased? Yo, man, I'm so sorry if they did. It's so sad. Everybody has had some kind of trauma. And I think that's why
Yeah.
we connect to each other. We
Yeah,
have
I believe so.
to come forward to solve this. Is the witness right in front of us? Jody Sue could be a big witness, y'all. That she, like I said, she had to have known. She had that there. I wouldn't doubt if she didn't have binoculars out there looking and seeing what jobs
She had a
were.
telescope or something.
She had something. And for her
Yeah.
down there at the bottom of the hill when Candace first goes down there, that's
Yeah.
just weird. Why was she down there?
And I really one of my scenarios would be that her son went up the hill and was hiding over by the bus trail where he was seen hiding before, later.
Uh huh.
And I think that Summer would have went to him with no
Yeah.
loud commotion at all.
He would have could have hollered at her and said, "Come look at this,
Yeah.
Summer."
Yeah.
And because she could have slipped out that back door. She could have went
Yeah.
out that back door. There's kids are smart. They can things that we don't think that they would do, they've done. Like my
Yeah.
nephew went off one time, and my sister in law was crying and said he wouldn't just do that. I said they do that. You think they don't, but they really do. And yeah, he did. He took off with his friends, and he showed up like an hour later after she had a heart attack. But
Yeah.
I just wonder about him. And see, that would explain why Andy was saying, talking about Summers, dead.
Yeah.
And so that's weird. because maybe he did something, got scared, and ran to Jody Sue and got scared that he hurt her or something. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. There's just so many ways you can spin the tale.
So many. A
So,
neighbor
so many.
that interests me in Summer's case.
I
I
just think that would explain why she has created such a distraction in this whole investigation.
right, right. Auntie Sherry. I I mean, could he have done something? Got scared? Could he have hurt Summer? Got scared and took her to Jody Sue, and Jody Sue took her up the house and hid her out, and then
Right. And look
later,
at Mia Bella, she said Heckin was a vicious dog of Jody Sue's. They had to have a stomach pump twice after Summer went missing. Then he
what?
died.
Why? I never heard
That's
that.
that's what was being said. I can't say that for sure, but that's what's out there. Andy said no, that was not true when he was asked. But, if there is a cover up from them, then
I think if a dog would have got a hold of her, there would have been like scent of blood. They would have found some kind of evidence that she was attacked.
yeah.
'Cause I'm sure they searched all that. I just think maybe he lured her somewhere, maybe hurt her, maybe she was still alive. That's why they didn't pick up and took her over to that cabin. Jody Sue found out, and Jody Sue and Andy. I don't know.
I
I'm
don't know.
just
I kind of one time had even the thought of, Jody Sue wanted that property of the Wells. She wanted that bad so she could have a claim on that
oh
hill.
yeah, I seen the video.
And then
If
Candace backed out.
I
So,
go
was
ahead.
that a way of making them want to leave and then it all kind of got out of control?
I don't know, but I seen the videos that she put out about how she wouldn't care if a child fell off a
Yep.
cliff.
Yeah.
All
She
stuff
was vicious back.
vicious.
Yes.
I mean, I don't know, but her,
Jackie 11, I thought the same thing.
what'd she say?
Well, Hash Brown, let's see, had put, I don't see where it is, but she said it would explain the footprints, the random footprints sliding off the horse, someone sliding off the horse.
Oh, I want to show y'all a little video that Christine made. I hope it don't have copyright music on it, y'all. But it's about everyone is still a suspect in Summer's case.
Oh, yeah?
Let's see if we can play it here. I don't know if that music is good. I'm gonna not put the music to it
Yeah, that's fine.
because Christine, she's not monetized, so it doesn't bother her if it gets a claim, and it always hits me.
Just
I don't know.
5 years old, and she left the house. Evidently, she got a little farther than they expected.
Well, in order to go to jail, you have to commit a crime that is going to jail.
Yeah. All right. Thank you for your time.
Because they're- You're welcome. Have a good day.
That was the day that Jackie or Dudley was there. Summer was dancing around. That was the day Dudley came there.
And 110 Pittsfield Road on the Beach Creek should be the first residence on your right. Reference to a missing 4-year-old. The parents have called in and advised that the mother had went for a walk, came home, now they can't find her. They've been yelling for her. She's been gone for about 10 minutes now.
Yeah, for one of the
Yeah, 110.
10-4 house, Madison. 335, I'll be alright as well. You say when you got the original call that Bob went on the run and when you came back, the Sandra was gone?
That's what the father is. He's at work about an hour away. I'll make his way home.
Those are like real, too. I had him on the phone, but well, you're that's great questions he may have on it.
10-4. You want us to try to contact Dana?
Let 3.
I do want to stop this for a minute. What's she gonna say? Oh, Christine's been doing a lot of research, going back and watching old videos, and she said that one thing that Dudley kept saying over and over again, is they set me up for the kill. They set me up for the kill, and she thought that was weird. And I know a lot of people didn't think that he sounded guilty, but he was definitely upset that Don took his job or fired him. He was very upset, and it just seems weird that the next day Summer goes missing too. So he could be a potential suspect as well.
He could.
I know. So I'm gonna keep playing this right quick and let me
Go to know when I think he's going to rescue like that determination.
PO2 has been notified. He also wanted me to just remind you to be sure check the house camera, even if they said they've already had.
Hawkins County Rescue Squad on there. Mutual aid request. Search and rescue. The Churchill Rescue Squad. Facing areas will be at Mount Carmel Baptist Church on Big Creek.
Yeah, I think so.
Hawkins County Rescue Squad on there. Mutual aid request from Churchill Rescue on that search and rescue. Resource that we have. And today I want to use you all. I want the word to get out to all the residents in the Upper Beach Creek community, Hawkins County and Sullivan County. We need the residents to go back today, tonight, tomorrow, as soon as possible, go back and check their entire property, any outbuildings, any barns, any place a child could hide. We desperately need you to do that for us.
What's your question?
Okay. Has the family been ruled out? I know they said that they understood you investigating and interviewing them. Have they been ruled out at this time? Or still?
As we've said time and time again, the circumstances leading to Summer's disappearance are very much under investigation. And at this time, we continue to explore all possibilities.
Yeah. The help that they need is that type of emotional support. You know, having the prayer vigils, whenever they're, and you can imagine the kind of ups and downs that they're going through, and they have some of these, to be able to pick the phone up and text and have a response, or pick the phone up and call and have a response. They're already going through a horrible time. Can you imagine? That's the most horrible thing that can happen to a person is to have their child abducted, is to have their child abducted, is to have their child abducted. You know, and they're going through this, and it's the depression and the shock and not knowing, is she safe? Is she being harmed? What's happening to her? You know, it's
yeah.
I believe that she would probably be somewhere close by, because we found nothing to lead us to believe that she's been abducted or trafficked out of the area.
Prove it.
Trafficked out of the area. Trafficked out of the area. Out of the area.
Prove it.
Out of the area.
Prove it.
I believe that
Christine redoes over and over again something that she wants to make a point of. So he did say that she could be trafficked out of the area. That's what she's trying to make a point with, you know. I don't know, but that's just what she's making a point of. Here we go.
she would probably be somewhere close by, because we found nothing to lead us to believe that she's been abducted or trafficked out of the area.
Prove it. Works alongside the TBI and FBI.
Hawkins County Sheriff Ronnie Lawson is in charge of the investigation.
Everybody that's involved in this case is person of interest.
We've not ruled anyone out.
What do you think happened? What does your heart tell you?
Well, I know in my heart and in my mind she was abducted. Someone snuck up there when we weren't exactly paying attention. We weren't exactly paying attention. And we don't know if they come in the basement and grabbed her, or if she stepped outside the basement and was walking to her swing or something.
You can see the Wells house up through the trees on the hill right here. Summer was home with her mom, Candace. Her younger brothers and her grandmother was also on the property. And what the family thinks happened is that someone took Summer, brought her down this steep embankment to possibly a car that was waiting in the roadway. He says he wants the focus to remain on Summer and finding whoever took her.
We love our daughter with all our hearts. We miss her. We'd do anything to have her back in that church with us that she so loves.
The sheriff says the Wells are cooperating, but that there's no evidence at this point that Summer was kidnapped or abducted. Is it possible that Summer's parents, Candace and Dawn, had something to do with this, or have you ruled that out?
We haven't ruled anything out. Everything's possible.
And right now, detectives say they are looking for a red or maroon pickup truck that may have been in the area around the time that SummerWells went missing. But another interesting thing, Marnie, he did confirm for me today that both of Summer's parents did pass a polygraph test.
Which is
Did pass a polygraph test.
which is
Did pass a polygraph test.
which is something I know a lot of people have wondered. Don't just vanish. Those are the words from retired homicide detective Chris McDonough. He has spent his career looking into high-profile cases from John Benet Ramsey to Elizabeth Smart. Now he's focusing his attention on the disappearance of...
I really need to find out if there's a copyright on this, because it sounds like that music might be copyright music. So I don't want to play anymore. But you heard what they said. Both Donna and Candace passed the polygraph test.
And that was confirmed by LE.
Right. So, yeah. And, you know, Dr. Phil thought they were innocent as well. You know, so we're going to have to start focusing on other things, y'all. Because if police thought Donna Candace was guilty of anything, they would have already arrested them. And Candace and Don definitely would not come on social media and expose themselves if they were guilty. They would lay low. But you see that Don comes out here and Candace comes out here, and they take the attacks from people all the time.
Yeah.
Copyright. Christy didn't send me a thing saying no copyright. So she wants me to play the rest of it. So I'm going to go ahead and play it. Thank you, Christine. If you're
SummerWells as the host of the Interview Room, and we continue to follow Summer's case as well here on Prime. Chris is back with us tonight. Chris, good to see you. Thanks for coming back.
Thank you for inviting me.
So Summer's parents, Don and Candace, have been the target of threats, accusations that they had something to do with Summer's disappearance. They have denied any involvement. They say that she was abducted. They have passed a polygraph test. They have passed a polygraph test. They have passed a polygraph test. At this point, the sheriff is saying anything's on the table. All people are persons of interest. But has the public jumped to conclusions too soon on these parents without the evidence to back this up?
Yeah, I think everybody is innocent till proven guilty.
Yeah, I think everybody is innocent till proven guilty.
right, Chris.
Yeah, I think everybody is innocent till proven guilty for sure.
Chris, police say that there was no evidence of foul play, yet they issued an Amber Alert.
Chris, police say that there was no evidence of foul play, yet they issued an Amber Alert.
Chris, police say that there was no evidence of foul play, yet they issued an Amber Alert. How can they be so sure?
Well, that's a great question. The investigative process is still, ongoing. It could be an accident. It could be, something, an intentional act of some sort. It could be an accident. It could be, something, an intentional act of some sort. It could be an accident. It could be, something, an intentional act of some sort. I think the investigators, and we heard Sheriff Lawson even say today, that everything is still on the table.
What's the deal with this red truck? It is potentially a piece of this puzzle. Have you heard anything about the truck? Has it led to any evidence or information for investigators?
Well, at this point, TBI has reported that the red truck, they want to try to contact that individual who may have been driving. There is a witness. There is a witness who is really vague about whether it was around the area on the 14th or the 15th. So it could have been the day before or the day of Summer's disappearance.
Chris M know? That's one thing. Chris M might be a retired police officer, but Ellie is not going to give him all this information, I wouldn't think.
I agree. And, he's going to talk about it could be the day before, but she was confirmed on video the day of.
Right. And
so if he's a big officer or whatever, investigator, he should know that. He should look into that.
When Chris M was interviewing Candace, he was swaying towards a kidnapper. It's not until Don got on there and got smart with him
right
when he started changing. It almost like it was and this is just my opinion, y'all. I'm not saying Chris is a bad guy. I'm just saying he has an ego, and Don hurt his ego. I'm sorry. Hey, most podcast, and I feel like Don hurt his ego, and so I don't know. I just feel like he was swayed because he got mad at Don, and he swayed it. He may not even realize that he swayed it in the wrong direction, but he absolutely did. I think.
However, I think what they want to do is just check the box to eliminate that truck. They have eliminated a lot of red trucks in that area.
How closely would investigators be looking at family and friends of both Candace and Don, this inner circle of people that they know, especially given the fact that Don has admitted that they had some wrong friends, or at least Candace did?
She's not going to allow any situation like that. The biggest mistake she might have made is maybe choosing some wrong friends, which is, it happens. But other than that, no way.
Do you think any of those wrong friends could have something to do with it?
We don't know.
I know you all have had some ups and downs in your past with alcohol and drugs. Do you think one of those people that came around could have?
No, we can't go there.
That would be significant. And you want to, again, you want to look at the abduction theory, and you have to think, how high of a risk would a subject who would want to, take a child, a 5-year-old, how high of a risk would that suspect take? And in that terrain and coming up that hill with the information that Summer between 2 and 10 minute time frame was in that basement, the universe would have to be 100% on schedule for all those stars to align. So that's where you want to start, shifting your focus in relationship to, taking a look at the inner circle, who had access to that property and or who had access to the parents.
Thanks, like
110 Hill Road on the beach street should be the first residence on your run. Reference to a missing 4-year-old. The parents have called in and knows that the mother had went for a walk. Came home, now they can't find her. They've been yelling for her. She's been gone for about 10 minutes now.
10 for 1 in America.
10 110.
10 for House Madison. 335, I'll be right as well. When you got the original call that Bob went on the run, and when you came back, that Sandra was gone.
That's what the father advised. He's at work about an hour away. I'll make his way home.
Notify 302. I had him on the phone, but lost him. You're that's great places he may have on it.
10-4. You want us to try to contact Santa?
Let 302 know when I think he's going to let rescue make that determination.
302 has been notified. Yeah, so we want to make sure, just remind you to make sure check the house camera, even if they said they've already had.
Thank you, AT Sherry. Thank you for that super sticker. Thank you for supporting my channel, y'all. I appreciate that. Any little support does help. And thank you, Auntie Sherry. Come up, Auntie Sherry. You're having a hard time coming up. But Christine said there is a copyright at the end of this, so I'm not going to play it all the way to the end. I'll just play half of it, and then because I don't want to get a copyright because I'm getting a lot of them. Hey, True Crime Pals. But yeah, I do think that Chris M at first was swaying towards a kidnapping, and then he got mad at Dawn. And even though he may have not realized that he was swaying it in another direction, I feel like he did. Because if you think about it, you all, if Candace and Dawn were guilty, as everybody says they were, Candace opened her home up for these people. Hello, Julie. She let Chris M into her home, which was she was viciously attacked after that. So, I mean, I don't blame her for not wanting to come on social media and stuff because she opened her home up to Chris M and he led it in a whole different direction than what it was supposed to be. So
I agree. Yeah. I mean, they've been pretty open.
I know they have, and they still are. They still want to come on lives. I mean, Don lays low because of the attacks that he get every time he comes online. People attack him.
Yeah.
They attack.
Well, I think, and I'll be honest with you straight up, I do think that they did not help the situation. They did not help Summer's case with the addiction aspect of them at the very beginning.
Right.
And so people, are not getting past that.
Right. And well, what happened after Dawn and Candace, it all went like Dawn said, everything went all to pieces. Like everything just hit. They didn't even really have a chance to grieve. And I honestly believe that Candace's way of grieving is going out by herself and going fishing and stuff. And I think that she gets to think, and I think she gets to grieve that way. I mean, not really grieve because she still feels like that Summer's still alive, but to think through things and process it, and I guess kind of grieve because they still haven't found the baby. You know what I mean?
Oh, any mother is going to hold on to that. That's just human nature. You're going to hold on to that until there's no hope left.
Right.
And you can't blame her for that. You can't make anything out of that because that's just a human nature aspect. You're going to hold on to anything.
There's many times that I've called her up and FaceTimed her, or she's FaceTimed me and she was bawling her eyes out.
Oh, I could only imagine.
The people don't see it. I see it.
Right.
But people that talk to them behind the scenes see it. Let's see. Absolutely vile says, with all due respect, so many people want to attack Christine, yet he's the first person they run to when they want his interview with Dawn and Candace, Allie and Leslie, and H, 25 years, home detective. Thank you, Chris M. Absolutely. I have a lot of respect for Chris M. I really do. Don't get me wrong. He's done a lot of good things, but I do think that he let his pride get in the way this time. He went a little too far with the Mary stuff, and I think he's let his pride get in the way and stir it because him and Don didn't clash heads. He automatically started swaying towards Don and Candace being guilty, and that was not fair because there's no evidence there to determine that. And then he went with Mary, and he pushes the Mary thing, which, in my opinion, kind of gets in the way of Summer's case. I'm not saying that we should put that aside, but we all know about it. now. It's time to focus on Summer. You know what I mean? He didn't like him taking attention to Mary and neglected Summer's case. I just feel like that when Don came after him and they kind of collided heads, he kind of swayed in a different direction. Not saying that he's a bad person or anything, but maybe he don't even realize that he's done it.
Right. Yeah.
Candace opened her home up to him and was completely and thoroughly ripped apart because of that. I believe a lot of people are seeing them in a different light now that they are sober. A lot of things can't be unseen and forgot, but alcohol is horrible and can't judge people when they are addicted. Exactly, Snow. Exactly. Thank you, Tracy. Thank you for supporting my channel. Thank you for that super sticker. Thank you guys. I appreciate that. What about the 2 hours, Allison? Utah is investigating Mary's case. Hopkins County is investigating Summer's case. Yeah. They're two different cases, y'all. I'm not saying that we need to dismiss Mary's case. I'm just saying let's not put it in and intermingle with Summer.
Right.
And even you thought Don and Candace were involved in Summer's grown missing. Let's be real. You're absolutely right. Until I started talking to Candace and Don myself, and a lot of people portray Candace as this monster woman that was cold hearted and didn't care, when it's just the opposite. She's very soft spoken and soft hearted, and she is not a mean person at all, and she cries a very lot for Summer. And I know you would feel the same way if you talked to her behind the scenes too. She is a very broken person, a very hurt person, and she don't trust many people, and I don't blame her because she's been hurt by a lot of people. And there's even more deeper pain than what we know about. So
Right.
that's why I've changed my opinion, because I've seen Don get upset. Like, he is hell bent on finding Summer, and he knows he's being attacked, but he still does it anyway. To me, that shows me that that's a parent that loves their child and wants to find their child.
Definitely. Yeah.
Now, I could be wrong, very wrong, y'all, but I'd rather be wrong and show people respect and love than rip them apart like I was doing before, because I felt very convicted about doing that. Believe me, I felt the conviction. I fell into the trail that everybody else was going on. And once you meet them and you talk to them for long periods of time, and even with Candace, she even if Candace, she has the opportunity to talk bad about anybody. When we asked her, or Jinkies asked her about if she thought that Jody Sue or her child had something to do with it, she's like, I'm not saying anything bad about anybody's child. She said, I don't want to go there. I don't want to say that because I don't know. And to me, that means a lot. You know what I'm saying? That she wouldn't go there with anybody's child because she loves children. And
Right. Yeah.
She said H and all of them, they were like her little kids. They loved hanging out there. She loved taking them places. She said, I never thought of him in that way, ever. All he was to me was a little kid,
Well,
He-
it's evidence in all of her pictures that she took. She enjoyed her time with her kids.
Yeah, she did.
You
And
can tell that in the pictures.
I've seen her cry her eyes out over those kids.
Oh, I could imagine.
And
Bless her heart. And like I said, I learned my lesson, like you were saying, when little Athena went missing. I felt horrible for blaming that stepmother. There was nothing that was definitive that said she did it, but instantly I assumed.
Right.
And I'm not going to ever do that again. I'm always going to, be prepared for, well, y'all were right. You told me so, but
Yeah.
I'm not going to feel bad about myself.
Right.
I'm not going to blame parents when there is nothing.
Is this Andrew Hiltz? Is that you, Andrew Hiltz? I don't know why Candace took H that day and not the boys. I know the boys was probably a little rowdy. That might be why she didn't take the boys with her. I don't think she had plans of Summer going. Hey, what's up, Andrew?
I've just got over here. I believe it was John Davis, was it not? Hang on, let me look again. John Davis asked a good question, and I was wondering if maybe you could help answer that.
Okay.
He asked, and I also asked myself, why did Candace take my son instead of her own boys?
That I don't know. Maybe the boys were rowdy and she didn't have plans of going to the swimming. It was hot that day, and so I think it was just a spur of the moment where they went swimming that day. Maybe the boys was rowdy and she didn't want to take them to the hospital with grandma. I don't know, but I know Candace said he was like one of her own kids, that she felt like he was one of her own kids and true and all of them. She said she always had kids hanging out with her.
Mm-hmm.
That's what she told me. She's like, she never thought of him in any other way. But as a child, she said she liked to take him to the parks and stuff. Maybe it was because the boys were rowdy. I don't know. She never told me. But I assume taking the boys, I know I've had boys before. They're rowdy.
Yeah.
And maybe it was just a spur of the moment time. I was like, well, it's hot. We're here waiting on mom. Let's just run down here and let her swim a while. And, I don't know. All I know is that she told me that the rumors of her and H were absolutely ridiculous, that she thought of him as her own kid, like she loved all kids,
Another thing John Davis has just brought up. If she thought of H as her own, why did she serve him alcohol?
That I don't know, Andrew. I have no idea. I don't even know if she gave him alcohol. Did he tell you that she gave him alcohol?
As far that has not been proven as not founded.
I mean, but how do we know that he really did have it? We don't know that.
His mother stated he was not in a normal state of mind when he arrived home.
What did she say, Andrew?
That he wasn't acting normal.
Like, did she say he acted drunk, or was he upset, or?
And it was proven that the twisted tea was there, and supposedly he said he drank it and vaped. Exact. Yep, you are right.
Did Allie let him vape before? Was he vaping with Allie?
I'm not sure. Oh my Lord, Mama, you're fine.
Hey, Christine.
Baby.
Sorry, my animals want to play with the kids.
Hey, Andrew.
Yes, dear.
I can answer your question about why she didn't take the boys, because I've asked her.
Okay.
And it's because the boys were playing video games and they did not want to go.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, that my boys would do the same if I said, I'm gonna take your grandma to the hospital. You want to go with us? Huh. My boys would be like,
But how old was the oldest boy?
12, 13.
13.
Yeah.
What are the laws for allowing children to stay home alone?
12.
I think it's 12.
For how long?
I don't
know.
know.
And it depends on the situation if the child is an adult acting. But a 12-year-old.
And it also depends on how old the children are that they're with.
Yes. Up here, it's 12 years old. You can stay home alone, but for an hour.
Yeah. I don't know, but
that in Tennessee, because I looked it up myself, because I have a teenage grandson myself, and we started letting him stay at home alone at 13. He's a big boy.
All right. Pit Mom just
Andrew,
said,
we're on Tennessee time. You know that.
All right. Well, no, it's just random things I'd like to I'd like to, you know, clear up because I am currently going over the case myself on my channel, and I'm just trying to clear up a few things to, you know, discourage rumors and the BS. So,
Well, I
Can I
know.
ask you a question, Andrew?
go ahead, Darwin.
Huh?
Go ahead.
Okay. So I just wanted to know. Now, I know you've answered this for us before up here on Daisy's channel. And you've always been really respectful and kind, and I appreciate that. But so if you could go, would you just repeat now, you all packed up all of the stuff when you all came down in the Penske truck? You guys packed up all of your belongings, all of them? Yes?
Yes. I'm sorry, I was reading the chat.
So what happened to where you were living? Like, was your lease up or something?
No, it was just something we all decided on. Because one, Hunter lives down there, and the schools are better for the children down there than they are up in my area. And we decided that it was all about, you know, we're just going to go down there and get a new start on life and let the girls hang out and meet their brother.
So did you break your lease at where you were in New York?
No, we didn't break it. It was a month.
Oh, it was a month. Okay. I wasn't, you know, I know a lot of people have wondered that, and I thought, well, here's a good opportunity to ask you. And then when you got down there and you couldn't, and the house wasn't.
When we got down there, it was stated the house was not ready for another 3 days when we arrived. We did not know it wasn't ready until after we after we got to Kingsport. But
wasn't that it wasn't ready, or you couldn't have it at all?
Well, the thing about it is that we decided we were going to try to find a hotel when we got down there. That didn't quite work out because everything was through the roof, expensive wise, due to NASCAR being in Bristol. I don't know what it is right now. Please come. I love you.
We love you too, little girl.
Sorry. But no,
I do understand the Bristol thing. I
yeah.
do understand
And the prices at the hotels are high.
Oh,
Right.
Yeah, at that time, yeah.
Why did Andrew say Hunter was coming out with new info on the case? I didn't. Hunter's info has been the same ever since it started. His story is the only one that's been consistent.
So who told you, Andrew, that Hunter was all upset and a different person? Allie tell you that?
Yeah.
But
yet again, I can't really believe half the crap that comes out of her mouth these days.
Yeah. Why do you think Allie said that, was it Allie or Grandma? Well, one of them said that they used to come over to play the summer before Summer died. Why do you think they said that?
I don't know.
Do you find that odd?
It's very odd.
Yeah, that's odd to us too. Also, so when you got down there and you didn't have nowhere to stay, you guys just, I know that you unpacked all your furniture and stuff in the storage unit.
Yep.
But if you were going down there and thinking that you were moving in right away, did you get the storage unit when you found out the house wasn't ready, or when did you get?
No, we found out that it was going to be 3 days before we could actually move in. So we decided right then and there to get a storage unit for our stuff and find a hotel for that couple of days. But the prices were way too high, and we were all just fed up with the whole situation to begin with. And we were like, you know what, we're just going to come back up here and call it a day and try again another time. And after we arrived back here about a week or two after, we found out that the place where my brother was getting the house from was fraudulent.
And
I have a
did he
question.
ever get his money back?
That I don't know. I have not asked him. He works too much. He works a lot.
I hope he did.
Can
'Cause that's
I ask you a question,
crazy.
Andrew?
Go
Do
ahead.
you think that the Jose that was on Justice's channel was the real Jose?
Yes, that was.
You think it was? Okay.
I know for a fact it was.
Because Candace don't seem to think it was him.
It was him.
It was him? Okay. I was just wondering.
So why did he say? Why did he make it a point to say? And he knew you were listening, or if like Jeffy, right, was listening. Why do you think Jose said he threw the phone to the bottom of the ocean? Why would he say that? Why do you think?
I think he was trying to hide something. In all honesty, I do, but I'm not sure.
I mean, like, what would
I
be
don't
so
understand
horrific?
why you could throw a perfectly good working phone in the middle of the ocean to begin with.
That's what I'm saying, right?
Not to
'cause
mention,
we just,
but listen, not to mention, said phone Jose had did not belong to him to begin with.
it didn't. Who did it belong to?
It was Jeffy's other phone that he allowed Jose to use.
Oh. But then we find out that he actually mailed the phone back to Jeffy, though, right?
Yes, that according to what Jeff has told me, the phone was mailed to him. All right, you're fine. The girls are
Is
fine.
that a new puppy?
No, he's not new. It's just he loves the girls, and given the girls are home, he wants to play with them, but the girls want to play outside because it's nice. So he's a bit pissy.
Did
They
you
can
ever
take him
ask?
outside with them.
Did you ever ask H why he was so upset that day after that day?
He has a sister that's the same age, about the same height, blonde-haired, blue eyes that he knows and is close to. So he looked at Summer as a sister, and to him that was a big loss.
Was that
But when
before?
he got home, Summer had not been missing yet.
Yeah.
No, I mean, that part it's still hazy on me because, I mean, he wasn't acting himself, but it also didn't seem like he was upset about anything. It might have been due to the factor is that she did give him alcohol. It could, yes, it was reported, sweet D. So, sorry, I'm answering things in your chat as well. But no, like I was saying, he wasn't acting himself when he got out the vehicle, and Candace was obviously known to supply alcohol and vapes, especially to Hunter, because it wasn't the first time that Candace bought that type of shit for the child.
Is
that
it
what he told you?
possible?
Did he tell you that, Andrew?
6:30.
Yes, he did.
She's 7 years old.
Yep.
Haley Hensley.
Uh,
Is it possible though that Allie's version of him being upset and something being wrong with him, could it be just a version Allie has put out to throw Candace under the bus?
Possibly.
She
If
has
you
a
look
lot of.
at it, yeah, it is. But if you also go back and look at the interviews that she's done on, obviously here, a few others, including my own, her stories don't add up either.
Well,
each time she's asked certain questions on no matter what panel she's on, it's all different answers. They're fine. They're fine.
Well, to me, it's the same. I mean, I've talked to her about it, and she seems, she says that, in my opinion, I think Allie has a resentment towards Candace, and I do think that she lied. Now, if H has told you this himself, I don't know. H told you that she gave him liquor all the time.
H says it's not the first time he drank with Candace.
What about Allie? Did he drink with his own wife?
Allie, her story changes so much, I don't know what to believe out of her mouth.
No, but has he said that he's drunk with Allie any?
No, but I do know she was supplying him cigarettes.
So he was vaping before that?
Oh no, cigarettes, honey, not vaping. Cigarettes.
Well, let me ask you this: did he drink once? What did he say that he drank that day? Did he say he drank us twisted tea
He
or
told
more?
me himself that he drank the twisted tea.
Do you think that one twisted tea would make him act strange? That strange to be upset and rocking back and forth and stuff, like Allie and them said?
I'm not sure. I've never been around him while he's been under the influence of anything. So I really don't know how he would act.
Could he have snuck and took the twisted tea without Candace knowing it?
I doubt it.
I don't know because I don't see. She said she thought of the kids as her friends and as little kids. So I mean, I don't know anything about the twisted tea thing. I know how young kids are, and I know how they like to sneak and get things. So I don't know. Did he tell you that he was upset and stuff after he got home, or was that just something Allie told you?
That was just something Allison told me.
Hey, Andrew, why do you suppose Hunter said, Dad, I'm in trouble. I can't get out of it this time or something. Why do you think
Not
he said
friends
that?
as children.
He had other legal issues going on at the time.
Oh, okay. So, also, did you ever find out where you put where your furniture in that storage unit? Remember we were talking, and you didn't know that there was a storage unit owner that owned a bunch of units that was convicted of RAP. That he pulled a woman into one of the units and
Yeah, I believe I
her.
went over. I believe I went over it last week and showed where it was. I'll have to go over that again. And
was that one of those units or no?
I only know about the one unit that we had. I know where it is, but I don't remember the name of it at the moment.
Okay.
But I
That's
will
important.
I will look it up and make sure that that I let y'all see where exactly I was.
Yeah, because
Candace,
didn't Candace meet you there?
Yes, there and also at the dollar store beforehand.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So, it's possible somebody could have seen Summer too at that time, and maybe, because there's a lot of people, shady people, and especially if you use that certain storage unit.
I'll have to see if they're both connected.
Yeah, that would be great. If you do, will you come back on and let us know?
Yeah, I will definitely let people know. Honestly.
Allie also said that she walked out there and saw Summer sleeping in the car, but then she recanted that. And Crime Stories Obsessed has got audio of her saying that she never went out there and looked in that car.
Yeah, because if I remember correctly, we went over that a few times on my channel, and she sounds both the stories within the 45-minute video.
Why would she lie like that? Why would she lie in a missing child's case? You know, and say that she went out there and seen Summer when she didn't see her, other than she's trying to hurt Candace. That's the only thing I can think of for her to lie and say something like that about Candace.
Well, you also have to remember they were both technically on the outs at the time due to their disagreement over Jose.
Well, Candace told me that she didn't have anything against Allie. That Allie got mad at her and left. That it didn't have anything to do with her. She wasn't mad at Allie, but it seems like Allie had something against her. You know,
Yeah.
to go that far and to lie. You know, Daisy,
Yeah.
a lot of crazy stories came from Allie from on jail or caught on camera when Molly paid her off. I seen Molly stick that big thing of money in her pocket.
Kim Holmes. I want to go. Allie lies about things, yes, but not all the time.
Well, she lied about saying that she seen Summer because I heard the audio of her saying that she never went out there and seen Summer.
Nope.
So what did Hunter tell
But
you?
which one is it? Which one is it?
What did Hunter tell you? Was Summer asleep or awake, or have you asked him
He said she was a napping.
that she was napping?
Yep.
That's what he told you. Hmm.
Because he in the interview he said that he thought she was sleeping, but she guesses he was awake. She was awake.
Yeah. So I take it as he thought she was sleeping. So I mean,
You would think she would know if she was sleeping or awake.
oh, well, yeah. So I mean, we could always ask him again. Well, I
Yeah,
could.
write that down, Andrew. Write it down as a question.
Oh, I got it. No worries. I got plenty of questions for that boy when I'm allowed.
I
Andrew,
think you're going to get it out of him, Andrew, because I think
what have you
you are the
what
dad.
what does H think? What has H told you he thinks happened to Summer?
I have not been allowed to ask any questions about that, Darwin. It's due to the legalities that he's currently caught up with and had been caught up with. I'm not allowed to mention certain things.
Did Andrew's attitude start changing and him start getting in trouble after Summer went missing?
No, this was before. No, he was slowly on the path of going downhill way before Summer went missing.
Okay. What was that gang sign he threw up? What gang was that?
Say what now?
That on the TikTok, what gang sign was that? Because I can't remember. Everybody's asked, but we don't know.
I don't know. I don't recognize it.
If you could, when you could you ask him which gang that was?
Like I said, there's a lot of questions I can't ask him.
Oh, you can't ask him that question?
Now, there's a lot of things I cannot ask him due to the factor of certain rules I have to follow.
Well, it's like this. Well, when he was hanging with Candace, him and Allie and all them, Candace took them everywhere. She took them out camping. She did everything with those kids. So if Allie thought Candace was such a bad influence, why did she let Candace hang out with him? Why did H want to hang out with her? He obviously loved her and Summer both.
Yep.
And she was good to him. So I just, I know how young kids are. They find the opportunity to slip and get a drink, they will, and then blame it on the adult. I'm not saying he's lying or anything. I'm just saying that Candace was good to them kids. She took them on trips. She took them on picnics. They all went camping. They had bonfires. Huh?
Sorry, I was reading a comment by Robin. No, he is not in a foster home. Where his whereabouts is nobody's concern.
Oh, your son?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to be so rude, Miss Daisy, but Hunter's whereabouts is nobody's concern due to the fact that he is still a minor until next year.
Right. I just don't, I don't want nobody coming after Candace when, Candace was good to him, to H, and I know Allie don't see eye to eye, but I just felt like that he was being influenced a little bit by Allie, especially in the Chris M interview. I feel like it was being swayed in a different way.
Yeah. Well, see, that whole interview seemed like a lot of it was coached.
Exactly. It was very much coached. You could slow it down and see her nodding her head like, say this. Yeah. That's how my
a lot of it, I seen to me, every time he wanted to go say something that was off script, mommy or grandma gave him dirty looks.
I'm leaving anyway, so bye.
Yeah,
exactly.
And DB Diamond is correct. Candace did talk way too adult to Hunter at times.
Right. All I know is that many times that boy was with Candace and with hanging out there at the house and with Candace and stuff. And if Allie thought that Candace was so bad, then why did she keep hanging out there? And why did she let Hunter go with them? I just feel like she still holds bad blood with Candace over Jose, and I think she's made up a lot of shit on Candace that ain't true. That's my opinion.
I have to say that's what it's looking like.
Right. Because
You have to
Candace,
remember, I stayed out of the whole case for what, quite some time now.
yeah,
Yeah.
right.
And the thing about it is I'm looking back through and I'm looking at it, and it just sounds like a heartbroken woman pissed off at her best friend.
That's exactly what it is. Even Candace said she don't hold hard feelings towards Allie, that she really didn't know why Allie was so mad that day. She still don't know why Allie was so mad. But
I'm sorry to cut you off, honey. I can't tell you what H told Yale Lee. I can't tell anybody what they told. That's between him, the good Lord, and the police.
right. Well,
There's
I
nothing
don't
more to be said. But what I want to know is why she, after my son was done talking to the police, why she decided to fly over to my son's house and start questioning him and start demanding what the hell he told the cops.
did that really happen?
Mm-hmm. Yes, it did.
Well, we can always ask her. Hey, Andrew, did you? I know when we were talking before, you said that you would give Candace some furniture. What was the furniture you gave her?
A table.
Table? Okay.
A table and a recliner. Because I wasn't moving it back into the Penske truck. Fuck that. Part of my language.
That's okay. I know that there was a question.
Listen, at that point in time, I was too mentally and physically drained to care.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
I just
That's
feel
a
like
long
this.
ride.
I just feel like this. If LA knew anything, they would have already been arrested. So I'm tired of
But
people saying it was.
this is what came up in my stream. Okay, today, are we sure they're not trying to stack charges, and that's why it's taking so long?
I don't know.
Because there
They
was a
didn't even
child.
name who the suspects are.
There was a child that went missing before Summer did. It only took 12 days to find.
Right. Carly Trent, right?
But there was so many people around that hill at that time that
And you're
it could have been
not
anybody.
seeing
Read the back chat, Christine. I just want to ask you about that. Because yeah, Daisy, I think she was worried about giving alcohol. I don't think she was. She told me she treated those kids like they were her own kids.
who's almost 17. Hunter is 17. His birthday's already
Hunter,
coming.
is he starting to do a little bit better now? I mean, is he
Hopefully.
mentally getting himself together and
Hopefully.
good? I think because I feel like as
But
a dad. Go ahead, Daisy.
I just want to say his problems does not have anything to do with Candace. He was on the bad road way before Summer went missing, and that we can all agree that didn't have anything
Andrew
to
just
do with
said that. Yeah,
Exactly.
Andrew just said that.
And
That he was doing something.
And that's another thing. A lot of people are taking what's going on outside of the case and other things that have nothing to do with the case and trying to interpret it into the case. And that's where a lot of rumors and a lot of misinformation and a lot of crap comes around. Bless you.
Bless you.
Thank you. All I know is what she told me, and I believe her. I believe that she thought of him as a child. All them kids, she loved to take him places. She loved to do things with them. And she said she never thought of him in any other way but just a child to hang out with. She loved hanging out with all of them. She loved True. She loved Bear. She loved every one of Allie's kids.
Exactly.
She still loves them. She told me that to this day. She still loves them.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Right. Right. And it's just that there's just so much out there, I don't know what happened as far as the twisted tea thing. I know how young kids are. I know if they see a drink laying somewhere, they're gonna grab it. And maybe get scared if because they are. Um, but I do think maybe he was vaping way before. You know,
Well, John
I think
Davis in
Allie
with
might
another
have been
one.
letting him vape, huh?
John Davis in with another one. She did talk about my son playing with himself.
Who did?
Candace.
What?
When was this?
It was on a comment of a relationship status my son had on his old Facebook.
I think I've seen that, but it wasn't like anything. What did she say? I don't think it was anything that was bad. It was, I think I've seen that before, and it was just something joking. I don't know.
Yeah, but I mean, an adult joking with a child like that. I mean, I joke with my kids, but I don't joke like that.
Well, what did it say?
Well, I'm not. I don't really have any of that in hand, so I don't really know it
Yeah.
off the top of my head. It was one of those things. I got caught. I caught window, took a quick look at it, and then threw my phone because I got pissed.
Oh, okay. Well, I was gonna say because we can't ask if I don't know exactly what she's
Are
what
we
she's.
going? Are we getting any
I don't
closer?
remember exactly what it said either.
I really don't. I listen. I really don't know if we're getting any closer to finding answers for Summer. I'm just not understanding why one child goes missing, takes them 12 days to find. Another child goes missing, and it's still gone. I'm not understanding the way that works.
Here's my theory is that she was abducted and because Ellie, and I'm not blaming Ellie, but they thought by what was being told, and they said the siblings witnessed Summer going outside. I think she got abducted, and that's why the scent stops there at the road. And because Ellie said it's that she probably wandered out a little further than what they expected. And, if that was the issue, then she would have been found by now, right? But now, because she has not been found, it's going to be kind of hard to say, oh, well, now we believe she's abducted, because then the public is going to be highly upset that they were not looking at the abduction more seriously than they did the wandering off. So that's just how I feel. I'm not saying that that's 100% anything like that, but that's kind of hard to backtrack from. Because if you were looking for a child that's been abducted, you're going to conduct the search differently than you're going to conduct it when you're actually looking for a child who's wandered off.
Yep.
I mean, and that's just how I feel about it. It's going to be hard for them to backtrack that and say, now we believe she was abducted.
But here's my thing. All right. I mean, I have to go with what Kim Holmes is saying. I mean, she could have been hit and picked and by a vehicle by being so close to the road,
right?
And somebody would have panicked, took off with her. That does sound plausible, but
right.
A passion of opportunity. I'm not an opportunity. I don't know because.
Hey Andrew, did you know that there was a neighbor?
I'm just saying that's pretty far out of the box to travel to abduct a child, unless it was somebody around there. But didn't the police go around searching other people's property?
No, they asked them to search their own property.
Well, that's
no. Jody sued, didn't let them search her property.
Okay, so what does she have?
Exactly.
But here's the thing: is there was a person who lived on Beach Creek who did get in trouble for trying to abduct a child a couple days after Summer went missing. That's number one. Number two, there was property on for sale on Beach Creek and on Ben Hill Road that brought. Now you got to remember, we are in the middle of a pandemic. We're in the middle of COVID. People from the city were trying to move to the country. That brought down strangers that would have never been in the area otherwise. And there was a boom in Hawkins County and Tennessee as a whole, actually around the United States, that were trying to move into the country to get away from living in such close quarters that you would have to live in the city. So that, in essence, brought strangers into the road of Beach Creek and on Ben Hill Road, because there were properties for sale. And there are reports and a news report that state, which I do have, and I plan on posting at some point, that the real estate was having a difficult time holding inventory for the needs that were wanting to, people wanting to purchase houses that were for sale. So that caused a real estate bidding war when there was a property that came up for sale. That right there in itself brought strangers into that area. That's 100% fact. That is not
Oh, no, I'm not saying that. Get it. But Susan Lloyd said that the Ellie said she was last seen walking away from her home. Now, here's the thing about that. There are 11.27 acres of land cover Ben Hill Road and Beach Creek Road. Those two roads run their property.
Right.
The front half and the side half. The back half, I'm not too sure of.
Well, I will tell you this, in 100% certainty, that the Wells property from inch to inch has been searched very well.
Okay.
Very, very, very well, more than a dozen times.
Mm-hmm.
So, if she was there, I think law enforcement, who is highly trained, would have found her.
Yes.
She's not on the property, on the Wells property.
Now, here's the thing. Judy Sue's property.
Who'd you say? What'd you say, Andrew?
Judy Sue. Is that not her name?
It's Jody Sue.
Yeah, that person. Is it now her property? There are what looks to be two vacant buildings on that property.
Yes.
And her property line is really weird.
Yes, it is. Yeah, that's why her and Jackie Dobbs got into it, because Jackie Dobbs bought that property sight unseen. He actually bought it off of the internet.
Uh-huh.
There was a bidding war and he won it. He won the bidding war, but he did buy the property sight unseen. So when he gets down there, he realizes, well, Jody Sue seems to think that the permission, I guess they have like what do you call it, where you can cross each other's properties to get for entrance.
I know what you're
I
talking
forget
about.
what it's called, but you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
She did not appreciate him having to go through her property to get to his property, but I think it was in a now it's going to irritate me that I can't remember the word, but so that's what they were fighting over, is the property line, because she did not want him crossing over her property to get to his. So I think that's what the beef was with that, but I want to know, why did Jody Sue not allow them to search that very day? That's the only thing that bothers me about that. If there's a missing child, I do not care. If your dogs are running around, I don't care. If you've got a bomb mine throughout there. You're going to let people search to make sure that child has not wandered through your property because her property butted up with their property.
Oh. No.
And Jackie Dobbs' property overlooked the Wells property, and you could see their house when all the leaves were gone.
Yes, but sorry to cut you off, but no, the Wells and Miss Brown's property lines don't touch each other by about 20 feet.
Right. But
And
children don't know what property lines are.
Yeah. That I do not believe is true, cursed with curiosity. I do not believe my son's girlfriend lived on the hill at all. From what he's told me, she lived in town, Kingsport.
That's the first time I've ever heard that.
Well, like I said, there's a lot of crap that's been going around a
Who
lot.
lived in Kingsport?
My son's girlfriend.
Oh.
Maybe she means a relative lives there.
Not sure.
Yeah. But yes, so there also there was Frank White that was repairing fencing on Beach Creek. She did make it down to Beach Creek. There's a lot of different things. The tree trimmers were down there, and there's two witnesses, which were the tree trimmers, and I know everybody's sick of hearing about the tree trimmers, but the fact is they were on that property the same day Summer went missing. So you can't dismiss that. And they let FBI, they did talk to the FBI and CPI and let them know that, and thank you for Ziggy for this interview with them, that Randy, the tree trimmer, and Scott, the other tree trimmer, did witness Grandma and Candace going out at 8:30 in the morning and did see Summer in the back seat. They had to stop and they actually talked to Randy, the tree trimmer, because they were bringing the equipment from the church to come over to begin their day to work on the Wells property for clearing the brush and the trees from the electric line. So they had the road temporarily blocked at that time as well. So there are two witnesses that did see. Now, they didn't say anything about them coming back, but they did see them that day. So you've got a slew of crew of tree trimmers also working on that property. You can't tell me Summer is not going to be interested in seeing why these strange people are on the property.
Yes, but weren't the tree trimmers also questioned?
Yes, but we don't know if Randy, who left the day that Summer went missing, he left the very next day, supposedly sick from COVID, and went home back to North Carolina. And I don't know what kind of vehicle he drove, because that's one of the ones I would really like to know if maybe that was the witness. I don't know.
Now, I got a question for Miss Daisy here.
Yeah.
I heard a few things, and I was wondering if you maybe be able to have some intel to help me clear this up. I heard that he got rid of his red truck and also the camper. But from pictures, Don.
Who's he?
I heard that Don got rid of the red truck and the camper that was on his property. Now, given pictures that I have looked at this morning, the red truck and the camper are still on property, but there's no bus. Now,
well, the camper was Grandma.
Still there?
What was the red truck? The Suburban?
No, it was a red pickup.
I ain't heard nothing about that.
That one was one that wasn't working, and it's like a two-tone blue and red.
Okay. And I also heard that he removed the camper from the property. But
I've never
like,
asked Candace about that.
but like I said, as of pictures that I was able to get, the camper's still there, along with the red truck. But the bus is missing.
They might have sold the bus. I know Candace sold something because she had to have money to get by on, but I don't know if it was the Suburban or the truck. I'm not for sure, but she had to sell it to get money, because that was when Donna was in jail. But I
Okay.
don't know anything about a red truck. I don't think anything was.
All right. Now another question for you, if you don't mind me asking. Now, according to maps and Google Maps and Earth, the actual address for 110 is that is the mobile home that sits under the tree line. Now, were they not able to change to put the house that sits there as the actual address?
Oh, I don't know. I've never asked any. I didn't know anything about that. I don't know. I
Oh, I
have
don't
no.
listen. I dove deep today on the property itself.
I can rest assured tell y'all that property has been searched upside down, inside out, and all the way through from LE. Law
Oh yeah,
enforcement has searched that property through and through.
yep, that I can agree. But I was just
A
saying,
lot of these rumors and speculations are out of control, and I've seen them for myself since I've got to know Candace and Don. I've seen people lie. I've seen them make speculations, just like what Bobby G just put. Allegedly, JLR is putting out about Candace, which I know is a hell of a lie, because Candace was in here last night praying, and she cried over that shooting in Nashville. Bobby G said JLR posted a horrible community post showing Candace was joking about her being the school shooter in Nashville. That is such a damn lie. The reason why I know it's a lie, because Candace was on here last night talking about how sorry and sad she was about it. And she had been crying that day about it and was upset that when it happened. So that is a complete and thorough lie, and JLR is making that shit up.
so my question
See
is
how
to you.
people lie and twist things around?
Oh yeah, but my question is to you though, Miss Daisy. You have a
Mhm.
Don Wells in your chat. Is that actually him or a troll?
I don't know. Where's he at?
Further up, darling. Further up.
I've
Uh,
not seen
uh,
Don in here.
where did it go? I
I
just
didn't
synced
see
it.
Don in here.
It's above Angel. I can't remember the rest of that. I can't read the rest of that. My eyes suck today.
I'm
I
not
went,
seeing Don Wells
yeah,
in here.
it was at 4:11
That,
p.m.
that must be Don. He said he never owned a red truck.
All right.
I
Well,
didn't know he owned a red truck
all right.
either.
Well, no, I was just asking because by the pictures on
Hey,
Earth
Don.
and by the pictures on Earth and maps, not to mention Tennessee Property Viewer, there's a red truck on your property.
I've never heard of that. And
the one on Tennessee Property Viewer is from 2021.
I don't think they owned a red truck. I don't know what that's from, but I don't think they've owned any kind of red truck at all.
I'm just saying what I see. That's all. I'm not saying it's true.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's not. I'm just saying,
The rumors and the lies run rapid on the YouTube streets.
Oh yeah, that's why
Really
I figured I'd ask where I could about what's up and what's down. You know what I mean? So,
yeah.
Because
Yeah.
like I said, that picture was taken in 2021, and there's a white truck and a red truck, and the bus is sitting there.
I don't know. They don't own a red truck.
Andrew, are you talking about the very, very old
I was
truck
lying through his
that was
damn
in the
teeth.
weeds?
No, I went to Tennessee Property Viewer.
Okay, I'm gonna look it up right now.
Hey, Mozzie.
Yeah, it's and then you got to type in Hawkins County, and then you got to type in Ben Hill 110, and hit search, and it will show you the picture that I seen. I wish
Tennessee
I could
property. What did you say it was? Tennessee property owner.
And
I
Tennessee
just
Proud
there
viewers.
there's not been no red truck up there. The fact of the matter is, Don and Candace don't know where their baby is. They don't. No matter what kind of stuff people make up. And for JLR to get over and lie like that, like a damn dog, all y'all have to do is go on my live last night, the night before. Candace was broken hearted over those kids getting shot. I don't know why
I don't
he's
blame
making
her.
up shit.
It's a little
And
close
Don
to home,
B,
don't you think?
huh? I thought Don B was going to walk away from this case. Somebody said something about him saying something today too. Don B posted a picture today of a red Tacoma truck with a shady looking woman driving and a man passenger seat. Got the plates, no, and saw it in Sevier County. Do you know how many people drives a red freaking truck? That's crazy.
Uh-huh.
That's freaking crazy. But that just pisses me off that JLR is making up such a big lie like that. What was it? A picture? That's harassment. These people are harassment. I asked Candace, I said, Candace, how did you refrain from being so upset at them when they screamed that at you? And she said, I didn't want to go to jail. I said, I would have went to jail if somebody would have screamed that at me.
This view, I'm sorry, Miss
Uh-huh.
Crazy.
Okay.
This view is of 2021 of the
Mhm.
property, of Don's property.
Yeah.
And up by the white truck looks a hell of a lot like a red truck to me.
That's probably
That's
the
the red
new car.
Suburban.
That's
Is
the
it?
new
That's the Suburban.
Okay.
Yeah, they
Well,
got a
no, I was
red
just saying,
Suburban.
that's why I asked questions.
Oh,
You know,
sorry,
I
Jess.
ask questions because I don't know.
Yeah, that's
So,
the
well, all right,
red
that's
Suburban.
all right. That is the red Suburban.
Yeah, that's
Yes, sir.
probably their red Suburban. They still
All right.
have that.
All right, but this picture here shows that the bus is there. But I went over on Google Earth
Mm-hmm.
Earlier today, and it shows the bus is not there, and that the Suburban, well, a red truck, I'm pretty sure it's the Suburban, I'm not sure, was moved to where the bus
Thank
sits.
you, Jesse.
But
the Suburban is drivable. They can move it back and forth.
yeah, but that's why I was just trying to figure things out before I put out any, you know, certain things I just want to figure out before I say anything.
Well, we appreciate that too.
Well, I mean,
That's good. You're doing your research.
I
Didn't
just feel,
red truck.
huh?
Oh no, one of your subs here asked if one of your people in chat asked if Fred scrapped the truck. As far as I can tell from, like I said, Google Earth and Google Maps, the truck is still sitting on property.
It's the Suburban.
Yeah, they're not talking about the when Fred Hill scrapped. He did scrap a vehicle, but it wasn't that.
Don says we can answer questions, but they always get twisted back around. Exactly.
I don't want to twist it. I don't want to twist it. I want to get to the bottom of it. I don't want to twist it.
Don, you want to come up?
But there's nothing to get to the bottom of. Don and Candace does not hurt their baby. Somebody come up on
I
that
don't believe
hill.
they did either. I don't believe they did either. I'm just trying. Listen, I'm just like I said. I'm getting back into this with a clear head, and I want to put all the rumors and bull to the side, and I just want to figure out what's up. So I'm
the thing
sorry.
is, we're not law enforcement. None of us are law enforcement.
No.
We don't know what law enforcement knows. If law enforcement thought Don and Candace was guilty, they wouldn't have been talking to Don every day in jail. When Don was in jail, he talked to Ronnie Lawson a lot.
Yep.
A lot.
He would have stayed in jail.
Yeah. I don't believe that law enforcement think Don and Candace has anything to do with Summer going missing.
Exactly.
I do believe that somebody come up on that hill. Now, have they made mistakes? Yes. Have they done some, some stuff? What they've had their moments. And Don admits that. But did they hurt that baby? Absolutely not.
No, I don't think he would.
Everybody says Don and Candace don't want to answer questions. They've come up here on my panel and answered questions for a whole live prayer garden set up here and asked Don every question, and he answered every one of them for her. Did you not know that? But she claims that I wouldn't let nobody do it. But honestly, I let her for almost a whole live do it, and he answered them.
Yeah, but I'm saying my thing. Yeah,
Don isn't
that's
Candace.
right. He did.
Let's talk to Ellie.
But yet again, I also spoke to. All right, so yeah, I figured the property was searched. But
Oh,
no,
Don said Andy allowed them to. The first day, Don, what about the first day? Did she search it? Did they search it the first day? That's what I'm wondering.
Yeah.
Here's my question. My question is, there is a lot of property right in that area and on Ben Hill Road.
Yeah.
The owners do not live there. It is hunting property. Who searched that property?
Right. In my opinion, someone got her in a car and took out of there. I think they hit 81 wide open towards Knoxville, and I think they took her out of there. There's so many ways of getting out of there. 81 would have been a perfect way to get her out, not those back roads.
Exactly.
And I don't know how far 81 is from Don and Candace, but if they went one direction, they would go to Virginia. If they went the other direction, they would head towards Georgia. They could have took her anywhere out of there. 81 is a big interstate. So, all I'm saying is, look, Don said, thousands of police and first responders searched for weeks. She was taken out in a car. I agree. Now, who was it that said that? Was it Chase 423 that said that a man and a woman came up there and took Summer to Indiana? I heard something about that. Why would you say that? That the girl went up the hill. I overheard a recording of, I guess it was Chase, saying that a man and a woman came in a truck, parked down at the bottom of the hill. The woman went up the hill, got Summer, brought her down the hill, and took her to Indiana. That's weird. Law enforcement should look into that.
Mm-hmm.
That is weird.
Because that describes exactly the dog trail and everything. You know?
But is it the property also an access road to the power lines?
It is.
Okay. Well, see, like I said, I was.
What happened that day?
I'm not
that
there
baby was kidnapped.
Yeah,
no,
I'm not exactly there yet. In my super overlook of the case, I'm not exactly to that point yet. We spent most of my days, trying to get to know the property more, the history of the property, and ins and outs of it to try to make sense of how, why, and when. Well, we know the when, but how and why. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we dug deep on Don being the owner, I guess his mother being the owner, and then the property being vacant in 93 plus 2 previous owners in 77. We've gone over all that.
Okay. So let me ask you a question, Andrew.
Go ahead.
This is kind of like the rumor mill question. So, and you said that you're diving back into the case to clear up some of the rumors, right?
Yep.
Okay. So I'm going to ask you a question. So we all know that Jose came back to 110, right?
Yep.
So the rumor is earlier on that you and the kids and everything actually stayed with Allie before going back to New York. Is that so or not so?
No.
So you
We did not
drove what,
Right.
10 hours from New York straight to
12 and a half.
Tennessee, and then
12 and a
12 and a
half.
half. And then you unloaded the Penske truck into the storage area, right?
Yep.
And then what? You just kind of drove around to see if the house was available?
No, we drove around to try to find a hotel to stay for a few days.
Okay. And then you found out that either the hotels were too expensive for what you were able to pay, or they were the ones that you could pay were all had renters, right?
Yes.
Okay. So then you go back. You just stop me if you feel like I'm wrong. So then
Okay.
you go back to the storage shed, or you go back and you rent the Penske truck again.
No, we still had the Penske truck with us.
Okay, so you didn't turn it in.
Nope.
Okay.
Trust me, that late fee was outrageous.
I bet it was. So you didn't turn the Penske truck in. So you have the same Penske truck. So then you go back to the storage rental and you load the furniture and all that stuff back up into the Penske truck, right?
Yep.
Did you get charged for the full 24 hours or whatever it is that the contract you signed
I'm not sure if my brother did or not.
for the storage unit?
Yeah, he was the one financing the trip. So everything, when it came down to money and everything else, that was all him. I'm not completely sure. I would love to call him up and ask him questions, but I can't due to the fact he is still asleep because he works overnights.
Yeah, I just was trying to help you clear up some stuff. Because that's one of the big questions is, did you, and what you just said, you answered that you guys, drove around looking, see if you could find a hotel. Why did Allie not offer, if Candace and offered with Jose to stay over at 110?
Allison didn't offer us up anything other than a few spots for like camping overnight and stuff like that. But
yeah,
Candace extended the invitation to all of us.
Right.
But yeah, we weren't gonna take it because we have a thing against not knowing who people are and staying at their house.
Okay. So, but the furniture that you gave Candace, she was able to load that up into her own truck.
They went back and got it later on, from what I was told.
Okay. Like, so you loaded up the Penske truck and then you just left that behind for her to come pick up?
Yes. What? You'll be all right. Trust and believe. You'll be okay. Change positions, baby. You've been laying on that side too long. Okay, so Ellie said H's mom took him to the doctors, then changed it to they went together. Another inconsistency in Allison's story.
And I also heard that he didn't go to the doctor.
It was not a U-Haul trip. It was a Penske truck trip. And no, it doesn't have to make sense. It was the fact is that one, Jose was not even supposed to go to begin with. Two, he's a grown-ass adult and he did whatever he wanted to do. And three, we came back to where we knew and love, where we had all of our family and decided we were going to wait and try again at a later date.
So, Andrew, were you able to get, since it was on a monthly basis, were you able to get the same place that you left?
No, we didn't bother. We didn't go back to that at all.
So you had to go find it.
My brother went back. My brother moved back in with his friend, and I moved in with family. When we moved into family until we got this place.
Oh, okay. Well, that clears that up pretty well because I think everybody thought.
We got this place in February of 2021.
Okay. Yeah, because I think a lot of people thought that the move was just something nefarious that you were doing, and that you didn't move out of that place at all, that you were just coming down for whatever reason. But but you did in fact let your month-to-month rental go, and you moved in with family when you went back to New York, correct? Did I get that right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Just wondering that.
Jesus, cat.
Definitely helps clear stuff up. Huh?
Sorry, my cat just plopped onto the floor.
Oh. So did you ever hear any more from Jose after he?
I talked to him a little bit after we got back up here, and then there was no more communication on his end.
So when you did have communication with him, what did he say was going on?
He said he was doing good. He was happy. He was hanging out with Allison and Hunter and all them, and then all of a sudden there was no contact, no nothing.
And after that, the next time you heard from him was when Justice for All found him?
Yep.
Okay. I'm still stuck on that phone. I don't know why. I don't know why you would say he threw the phone to the bottom of the ocean. It's
Yeah,
strange.
I don't understand why you'd say that either. I don't.
That causes red flags. You know that, right?
Oh yeah, I know. What was he hiding?
Exactly.
But
that's what I want.
That's something he took to his grave, sadly.
But then Jeffy came up and said that he shipped it to him.
Yeah.
So does Jeffy still have that phone?
As far as I know, I'm not sure. I wouldn't think he would have gotten rid of it, but I am absolutely not sure. He may have factory reset it, but outside of that, I'm not exactly sure about it. I don't really remember if he mentioned it before or not.
Because probably, the law enforcement might want to look at it just in case, because Jose was, around Summer. And then he did say he threw it at the bottom of the ocean, then retracted it and said that he mailed it to Jeffy. Right?
And Jeffy confirmed that it was mailed to him.
Exactly. So what did Jeffy do with that phone?
My point exactly. I'll have to ask him. I think I asked him on a live in the past. I'm not sure, but I will go back and see if I can't find it and figure it out. But
because what if there's something in there that could help us?
Exactly. I see what you're saying. Exactly. But my thing about this is that the picture of Summer being taken by the U-Haul trailer, there was no pictures taken that day. We were down there. None.
The picture I think people are talking about, it is a U-Haul.
Yeah, it's a U-Haul trailer.
It's not a Penske.
No. It's not a U-Haul truck or a Penske truck. It's a U-Haul trailer.
Yeah, I think people are having a hard time seeing what it is because it is a close-up of Summer, and it does say U-Haul on the back, so it does allude to looking like a trailer or like a truck.
The only reason why I believe it's a trailer and not the truck is because of how low it's sitting and the frame above the the frame above the wheels looks just like a U-Haul trailer. So it could be one of their box trailers.
Do you know why she was? I mean, I know that you talked to Jose a little bit?
I'm here, guys.
Okay. Do you know why she was sitting in front of a U-Haul trailer?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear what you said.
Do you know why? Who was moving that she was sitting
That I don't
in
know.
front of it? You don't know that part.
Okay. That I don't know. Who they were moving or anything about that, because I didn't know anything about the picture until later on.
Oh, okay.
So
I took over Daisy's show. Sorry.
Pit Mama wants to know how concerned I really am. Well, darling, I have a wonderful thing called good medication.
Oh, go ahead, Christine. I know there's a questions that she wants. Christine's been doing some deep diving into this case. I mean, she does some deep diving, and those are questions that she wanted to ask and wanted to know about.
Yeah.
And
Because they're, yeah.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with certain questions. There's nothing wrong with questioning at all. If I can answer, I'll answer.
No. Yeah. You've always been very respectful, Andrew, up here.
Yeah.
And, you know, and we've appreciated you coming up and talking with us, you know, anytime we ask you to. I think that's fantastic. Good communication, that's key. Do you have anything, Dave?
No, I don't.
Is there, now I do know that there's some questions that the chat would like to ask you.
Yeah, I'm trying to read chat at the moment. I'm sorry.
Why do you think Hunter said that, that, that Summer was under the water?
She could have been under the water.
I mean, yeah, but then he retracts and says that, you know, when she came up that she was just okay, but he was concerned enough to run in and get her.
Well,
Do you
kids,
think that he was,
in all honesty, it sounds like a case of kids being kids being kids, joking around, having fun. That could have been the case.
I just was wondering why. I mean, if that's something that he's relayed to you as well.
No.
He doesn't say anything like
He hasn't really, outside of other things that don't pertain to the case, he hasn't really discussed much
okay.
on it. I've yet to figure out why, but it's coming down to the point to where all things and my questions can be answered.
Yeah. I bet you're really anxious to be able to get to the bottom of it because you're a dad too.
And you know what? What if this whole case? What if this is a total stranger? What if a total stranger that was in that area for some reason went up there, or maybe had been stalking the baby? You don't ever know.
That's
Went up
another.
there and took this baby. You know, we've seen it happen before, y'all.
And I'm not gonna lie, I went on there today on my own stream, and I was going over some rumors and some possibilities and some theories, and yeah, one of them was very dark towards Candace, but I don't really think she would have the heart to hurt her baby, even though honestly, I don't know how.
There's no way. There's no way. No way. I know that for a fact. She would never hurt her, or Dawn would hurt that baby on purpose.
And
now,
how true is it that where it's been stated Candace said she never wanted Hunter? How true is that statement?
Wanted Summer?
Yeah, never wanted.
That's a damn lie, because if you go back and look at her Facebook before Summer went missing, she's got Summer's pictures all over there. My daughter's my everything. I don't know how I could live my life without my daughter. My daughter's my blessing. I mean, all on her Facebook before Summer went missing.
Mm-hmm.
That was a total and thorough lie. She said she was happy to have a baby girl for Don. She said they were tickled pink that Don got his baby girl that he'd been wanting. So you all can go back and look at the pictures of her in Summer and know that's a rumor.
Like I said, I'm trying to sift through all the garbage and rumors.
And that's exactly what it is, garbage and rumors.
Exactly.
And I found that out just what little time I've been talking to him. All the lies, especially that big fat one JRL's over saying, that's a big old lie. And yes, somebody said, well, why is she crying for the kids? Well, because, and she's not crying for Summer. I've seen her, me and Christine both seen her crying for Summer. Ain't we, Christine?
She cried.
She cried on my panel for Summer.
Candace cries about Summer every single day. And this is going almost on 2 years.
How true is Fred Hill's story?
What's his story?
Hold on. Come in. I gotta let you go. I got company.
Okay.
Okay.
Thanks
All
for
right, later.
coming
Thank
up.
you, Andrew.
Not a problem. Later, guys.
Bye.
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 Fred Hill talked about someone in the woods watching. Does anyone know what he was talking about? I can't remember. I don't know, but I bet Don and Candace would like to know because they think the same thing. They think that
I
somebody
know who
was
they're. I know
stalking
what
them.
they're talking about. They're talking
What is
about
it?
Billy. Oh, I forgot his last name. It's the guy that they would let stay on their property when he needed to. He's a homeless person.
Do they think that
Billy,
he might have had something to do with it?
Candace, you
He's
know what?
the thing is, Candace was going to come on here, but since Andrew come up, she's like, "No, I'm not going to argue with this man," and I don't blame her. I mean, I
Yeah.
appreciate him coming up and stuff, but there's a lot of things that he come up here with that was I felt like was going on the attack of Candace and Dawn.
Mhm.
Um, and I'm glad he came up because we did straighten a lot of that out.
Yeah.
And they ain't nobody that is a detective in this case, and nobody knows what happened to Summer. And there's been so many lies, so many rumors, so many twisting around. And I guarantee you all, if you all talk to Candace and Dawn behind the scenes on your own, you would say the same thing that I've seen. Aren't they too old to have kids in the system? Have they learned anything young? I don't understand what that means. I didn't mean to interrupt you. What, Christine?
Oh, nothing. I was just. I will let y'all know this. Candace is doing and Don is doing exactly what
What
they
they need
need
to
to
do.
be doing to, you know, be able to get their boys back. And if Summer is found, her be able to have Summer too. They're taking all the steps and all the measures that have been asked of them. They truly have. Um, so I know that's a big question. Everybody keeps asking, and they are complying with what the things that they are supposed to be doing. And as a matter of fact, I was talking to Candace yesterday, and she absolutely loves the parenting classes that she's going to. She, in fact, when those are over, she wants to do more. And I think Candace is starting to learn to love, the gift of learning. And she's really enjoying learning new things, learning new techniques, learning ways to cope. Um, and she's enjoying that, and it is helping her immensely. So when somebody is trying to better themselves, I I am a firm believer in trying to give them that support and encouragement to do so, because that's the only way that things like this is going to stop. To better somebody's self, that takes integrity, and that shows that she is very dedicated to her children to get them back. And when she does get them back, that is going to give her the tools to be a better parent. I'm not saying she was horrible before, but what I'm saying is if they have asked her to do these classes and she wants to go above and beyond and do more, I say that means that the classes that she's taking as of right now is doing what it's supposed to be doing. She's
Yeah,
enjoying these classes, y'all. She doesn't deserve to be attacked.
right. I agree 100%. I do. None of them does. And,
No.
uh, I come on here to just talk about like, the potential suspects in this case, and not for people to come in here and hang on and bash Don and Candace because of what they've heard on the rumor streets. That is absolutely not true, especially what JRL said. That's
What did he
horrific.
say?
That's such a big. He's saying somebody said that is saying that Candace made a joke and said that she was the school shooter. What the hell? That is
He
such a
would never say
lie.
that.
That is a huge lie. She was upset about that. That
See,
is a
I've never heard her say anything like that ever.
never, ever.
She wouldn't say something like that.
She was upset. She was upset the day that happened. I don't generally. Let's see. Candace cries and has been distraught since summer. But she has cried, guys. Just because you guys don't see it doesn't mean that she doesn't cry. You know, he made a joke. Well, that's a bad joke to make. That's
He
a
made it.
really bad
That's
joke.
his joke. See, that's where it's getting twisted. It's his joke. That's not Candace saying it. That is him saying it, not Candace.
Right. Right.
Now that's exactly what we're talking about when we're talking about things getting mistrued. That right there.
Yeah. Such a big liar. What is
Pants
this?
on fire.
Oh, right here it is. I'll pull it up. Thank you to the person that sent that to me. Thank you. Look at this, y'all. Now, why in the hell would you do something like this? Look at that. JRL, I'm very disappointed in you. Oh, I'm
Dang.
OMG. It was Candace. And somebody scolding him over.
That's terrible.
That's
JLR.
terrible.
I thought
What
you
the
had
hell
more
is wrong
integrity
with
than to do
you,
that. Stop it.
JLR?
Stop.
What the hell is wrong with
Stop.
you? These people have been through enough.
My gosh.
Exactly.
That's downright terrible.
That's terrible. And I don't blame Candace for not wanting to come on there and
No.
be part of that. I don't blame her. That's horrible. Well, we all know that he will stop at nothing until he gets what he wants. I mean,
JLR, if you're
there's
listening,
limits to things you do, and that's not
that.
funny.
Stop. You know
Yeah, that's
better.
a
Stop
joke.
it.
That's not funny. Real adults.
JLR, you know
Exactly.
better.
There's no way. In fact, you can go back in last night's chat and see what Candace was putting in there. She was putting, I'm so sorry that happened. I feel so bad. You know, she was upset the day that it happened. She said, I'm just going to lay down and go to sleep. She was upset because there were 9-year-olds in there who lost their life, JLR. It's not a freaking joke. That is not a joke at all. Why would you make a joke like that? There was 3 little 9-year-old girls who lost their life in that, or little kids. Hello, Miss Daisy and Christine and Andrea. I hope you all are doing well. Miss you all. Glad you all are keeping SummerWells' name out there. Justice for SummerWells. Thank you, Grossly.
Thank you.
Stop bullying Candace and Don. Their children is missing. Exactly.
Right.
And not to mention, that is no laughing matter. Them young kids didn't. That is
And
not.
the thing about it is, not only are you insulting Candace, you are insulting every single one of those people's families
Kids.
that perished in that shooting. Stop it,
Exactly.
JLR. Stop. You know better. Stop it.
Yeah,
Make me
that's
mad.
horrific. It's disgusting and it's horrific. And it's not a joke. It's not funny. It just makes you look like the person that you really are, you know? Linkies.
I think he needs to retract that.
2 girls and a boy that was killed in that yesterday. That's
Not
sad. It needs to
and
affect everyone.
also 2 adults. And that is an insult to all of them as well. That's not funny. Take it down, JLR. Take it down.
He needs to
Stop
take it down. It needs to be reported, y'all.
That's not funny, JLR.
That's not
Stop.
funny. These are missing kids. This is missing people's kids that's missing, and these are children that were killed. Let's see. We have an honest question. Something don't make sense to some people. I'm concerned with the fact that they lost multiple kids to the system given alcohol, minors, and we don't know that, Pit
We don't
Mom.
know why they no. We don't know
Right.
what the
Know why. But I do know that they're doing everything they can to get their children back.
exactly.
Don is working every single day, and Candace is is staying home and doing what she has to do for her
She's
kids.
taking classes. Listen, yesterday she was in classes all day long, from morning to afternoon, and she loves these classes. She loves learning. She loves doing all this stuff. So let's show her a little bit of support trying to better herself.
Can anybody hear me?
We can hear you, but we
Hi,
can't
Auntie
see you, Auntie.
Sherry.
I know. I'll get back off.
Oh,
But I
we
just
can
want to
hear
tell you before I
you.
get back off that black screens matter.
Okay.
What? What'd she say?
She said black screens matter. Yes.
What'd she say that for?
I have no clue. I
What the
have no
heck?
clue. Because
Auntie
she's Auntie
Sherry,
Sherry.
what are you
Crime
talking
cases
about?
around the farm. JLR pretends to be the uncle of Sandy Hook's school shooter and broke probation to do it. What?
What? What?
No, you're good.
What?
Good, Pit Mom. You're good.
What
I
was
have
that?
no idea what that means.
What does that
Auntie, are you
mean?
coming back up here? Are you coming up here?
Up here, Auntie Sherry. I'm gonna have to get off here and
Here. Yeah, I'm gonna have to get off here too. I've been on here for 3 hours now, and my daughter's here with me, so I think I'm gonna go ahead and jump off of here. Guys, I want to thank everybody that come out here and join me. I'm sorry the live ended so abruptly. When I did I started the live out on my phone out there with Benny and Daisy and all the critters, but my phone went dead, so I had to come down here and start another live up. And I started out talking about David D, but it just it just kind of escalated a little bit. So, but y'all,
all
please,
right.
please be considerate for Dawn and Candace's feelings, because what people are out here saying ain't always true. And absolutely, Candace would never hurt a child or think that that's funny in any way at all.
No.
She
And
wouldn't do that.
JLR, if you're listening, one last thing, you need to take that down, please. If you don't respect Candace and Don, that's up to you. But
But
for the respect for the other people that lost their lives, take that down. You know
absolutely,
better. You know
100.
better, JLR. Stop.
You know better. But guys, I thank you all for joining me today, Miss Christine,
You're
Andrew,
welcome.
anybody that's been up on the panel, Lolly, everybody in chats, my beautiful mods. Thank you all for
Love you
coming out.
all. Love you, Daisy.
I'll love you too. Bye, Christine. Talk to you after a while.
Bye.
Y'all
All
say a
right.
prayer for
Bye,
Dawn and
everybody.
Candace. Okay, honey. Say a prayer for Dawn and Candace because they are being attacked on all fours and they're not doing anything to hurt people. People are just vicious out here. They're mean, they're cruel, and they're vicious. And let's not forget that they still have a child out here that they have no idea where she's at. So just be kind, and even if you're wrong, at least you were kind. Let's not forget about that. Pray for Summer. Pray for Sayla. Lost her son. And again, bless her. God bless you all, and I'll see you tomorrow. I think I'll be back on tonight. So God bless you guys. Good night. Prayers